We want to encourage those who want to remain corrupt and steal money, that I beg the money should be used to bless our people. Thank you and God bless.
The Minister of the Republic of Liberia. Welcome to the third episode of the series. Today, it's time to look at his achievements in the education sector. By 2017, the number of school-going persons had increased since the end of the Civil War, but the learning outcomes were poor. Many parts of Liberia were without high schools, and children who attended classes in dilapidated structures were taught with inadequate materials by many demotivated teachers who were irregularly underpaid as low as 2,500 Liberian dollars as a monthly salary. With few weak regulatory mechanisms in place, the unprecedented repeated mass failure of students in WAEC and UL entrance examination consistently exposed the failure of the government education system. President Weah's predecessor had conceded to these enormous challenges and had publicly confessed that their education system was a mess. President Weah inherited a mess and immediately started to reverse the downward trend the education sector had taken. President Weah immediately lobbied with GPE for $11 million to support early childhood education in 6 counties. 300 in-service teachers and administrators were trained, and grants were given to 550 early childhood education schools for learning materials. President Weah has also addressed the secondary education challenge. He has attracted $47 million United States dollars from ADA to enable him construct 3 model high schools in Banga, Kakata, and Ganta cities, and is rehabilitating 156 public schools across the country. He is smartly using the funding opportunity to upgrade about 25 public junior high schools to senior high schools to ensure that each education district in Liberia has at least one public high school. Construction works are ongoing at the 25 following schools: Dua Gatton and William V. Stockman in Nima County, Nomo Port Central, Draw, Gibsonville, and Troy Public Schools in Sano County, Barakan, Bonington, and Guiado in Maryland, Chibokan, Tomwa, and Koyakan in River G, Joseph McGill, Bella Fasama, and Gaga Bukita in Bapulu County, Owens Grove, St. John, and Guillotin in Grand Bassa, Bojize, Zamintown, and Yakatan in Riverses, Kokoya Central High in Bong, and B Public School in Magibi County. Construction works are also currently ongoing at 18 early childhood primary schools across the country. To reduce the high rate of school female dropouts, President Weah ensured that up to 250 United States dollars was given as sponsorship from 9th to 12th grade to each of 3,000 girls in the counties with the highest rates of secondary school dropouts. President Weah is about to install an all-inclusive solar panel digital library in 157 public high schools across the country, and users will not need internet connection. All of the 157 schools have received 5,000 United States dollars each to prepare the rooms to deploy the digital platform. Since 2018, President Weah has paid $500,000 United States dollars annually as WAS fees for all students taking the exam. Under President Weah, the passing rate of students in WAS and other public exams has improved steadily. President Weah has also made the University of Liberia and all other public tertiary institutions tuition-free to grant the poorest of Liberian students access to higher education. President Weah has sent 30% of the University of Liberia Teachers College and the Teachers Training Institutes to foreign graduate schools to specialize in different sectors of education to improve the teachers training program. The 30% have completed the training. President Weah has completed the rehabilitation and reconstruction of TV workshops in all 6 multilateral high schools. He has rehabilitated all of the trade workshops at BWI and has constructed TVET workshops at the Palava High School. President Weah has removed over 1,000 gross names from the Ministry of Education payroll and has added 3,000 supplementary teachers who had irregularly received 2,500 Liberian dollars as monthly salary. Under President Weah, all public school teachers are paid at least $150 United States gross salary. President Weah has established the Division for Disability and Inclusive Education for the first time at the Ministry of Education. And with the support from the World Bank, 40 teachers were trained to improve their abilities to identify students with special needs. To inspire nation building and patriotism, President Weah has reinstated civics education in a curriculum for Liberian schools. President Weah has developed several education policies to improve and strengthen regulation of the sector, including the Policy on Health School Administration, School Grading and Quality Assessment Tool, PTA Policy, and Girls Education Policy, which introduced the recruitment and deployment of 200 guardian counselors in all public schools. All of these achievements cause us to forget that COVID-19 disrupted President Weah's development drive for a whole year. But even during the pandemic, he solicited help from the development partners and launched a COVID-19 Education Emergency Response Plan. Under the plan, lessons were aired by radio, 6,000 plus kits were procured, 150 watch facilities were constructed in public schools. Risk prevention controls were established to create safe environments for the speedy reopening of schools. During the COVID-19 pandemic, President Weah also provided relief packages for about 20,000 private school teachers who were not fortunate to receive salaries like their public school counterparts. Thank you, President Weah.
United Party Parisian from local country.
How long have you been selling here?
I've been selling almost 3 years. Not even 3 years, but I can't remember. But almost, yeah.
But you've been selling here for a long time.
For a very long time.
Yeah, so how was things doing President Weah Town?
It was smoothly moving up, small, but from now benefit. As you can see, since the morning, we never even sell one customer.
So since this morning,
and then
nobody has bought anything for you here?
Yes. Police can take your market. They expect you to free, you know.
Okay.
Since the morning, nobody number. So how you free? You get leader, you get taking a market.
Wow. So now, will you prefer President Weah coming back?
Oh yes, I'm a United Partisan.
Yes. But now if election is here today,
I will vote President Weah.
President Weah?
Yes.
So you are United Partisan?
Yes, because of what's going on now. They're really getting our shit, yes.
Yeah, economic condition is not better.
Oh, yes.
Okay, your name again?
I'm J. Kamara.
I'm not J. Kamara.
Yeah.
Thanks for having you. So ma, how everything? How's the country with you now?
The country too hard, not allowed to my son. The country hard.
Wow.
Can you imagine? My children coming dre. The old shoe that on the bed, I take from there. Doing Joya time, I will buy different things. I will come as shopping. I buy different things. But the old shoe, yeah. I come from breaking it now. I'm going to put it on the green tray. So tell me now, what the facility and I will go on in the country? It's too hard.
So you saying that what you were promised by the Joseph Boakai government, that is not what you said?
Nothing. I'm not saying nothing working. Nothing working, brother. I will not lie to you.
So what do you prefer now? Will you prefer Judge Mano Weah coming back?
I say I prefer 100 times. You know what I will tell you? My chicken, my dog, everything waiting. Nah.
Everything waiting.
I say everything waiting to vote for Judge Weah.
Wow.
Yes, because I know the interest are in him, and I know that God sent him.
Okay, God sent him.
Yeah, God sent him.
So, no
Thank
problem.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So how is business going? How's business?
The business is not really improving.
So now you've been selling here for over some years, and so during the regime of Judge Mano Weah, and as compared to now under President Joseph Boakai, how can you compare business?
You can't compare it because I can remember 2017 when Judge Weah became president for Labrador. As of the time I start making money on my own. I even bought Lendy. But anytime the party people come in power, something very hard. As you see me, this is not my body. Things are hard. Yeah, so from the economic situation, the economic situation for presently, this regime is very hard.
It's very hard.
It's very hard.
So it was quite better doing George Manu
down now.
Okay?
Yes.
So if you are grading the two government, who will you grade higher past them first?
I will grade George government 100% and this government 10%.
Okay, thank you so much. Your name again?
I'm James Fire.
James Fire. Thank you. So how is business going?
Thank God, my man, you know now.
So you still are just a Boakai government. So doing job man, how was business with you?
Business was alright. No we to say what this number no business, but to say one thing that I'm playing.
Wow. So are you saying now it's better than just like Boakai time is higher than President Weah time?
Very, very hard. Very to prepare Weah time, one Weah again, that will come back.
So are you calling Weah back? So if election is to be held, who will you vote for? Weah?
Weah.
Wow. So if you have to grade the past regime and the current regime, how will you grade them?
The past regime, I will grade the past regime 80%, and this regime, I will grade this regime 50%.
Thank you so much. Your name again?
I'm Moses.
So like the regime of President Weah and now under Joseph Boakai, how can you compare business? How was it doing President Weah time and now how it is doing this administration of Joseph Boakai?
Well, the business sector now will find it difficult because of the US rate.
Okay, because of the
US rate. Because when the US go up, you find out people and to buy can be difficult. When the US rates come down, you can find the liberty plenty in the market, so everybody can buy. But for now, the US rate is high.
But what do you think is the cause of that?
Well, we can only blame the central government for that.
The government. So how is business with you currently?
The business is not going well now because in the government we're finding more difficulty.
So during George Manu Weah time, how was your business?
During George Manu Weah time, at least business are going on small we're managing.
You're managing.
Yeah.
So now, if you have to compare the two governments, who are you grade as your friend?
Yeah, I'll grade George Weah government because this government we thought this government will come to bring things for us, but we see now everyone are going. I log on seeing business people are not even there getting what they need in a business. Business going afloat.
So how was business today for you?
Yeah, at least I think over what God gave me today, at least I in 5,000. Yeah, at least I can manage. And I saw a business I selling. I come to farm a daily bread.
So you say at least you in 5,000. So
yeah.
Do we George Manu Weah time when you come in the market here in Douala market and sell usually by the evening hour? How much you used to carry home and when you live in the market?
Yeah, during Weah time, at this hour, I used to generate almost 20,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's wide range.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you again. So how is business moving?
Oh, really? This is not fun.
Okay.
But in everything, we give God thanks for the movement. But the government is not doing well for us.
Yes, so during President Weah time, I think that was the time we started selling here. So how was business back then as compared to now?
Oh, Weah time was very great.
Okay.
It was very great because when you can't sell, end of the day, you know that you go home to your family. Okay. But for now, it's very difficult.
But what do you think is the problem now? It's very difficult.
The problem from the government. Because there is no job for the youth, there is no job for our parents. And even they are putting our people down, our parents are crying. So people will take pay, they will come back. They are not taking pay. So really, we are facing a lot of pressure in the country now.
So how can you grade the two administrations? Joseph Boakai and George Manu Weah. How can you grade them?
I grade George Weah government as one.
Okay. Thank you so much.
100%.
Your name again?
Philip, my name.
Philip. So how is business moving?
Business high.
Business high here. Yeah. So what is the cause that business is high here?
The way the country running, I even business.
So during President Weah time, how was business as compared to now?
Why? Business was going there.
Business was going.
Yeah.
So you telling me that business was going during President Weah time more than now?
Yeah.
So how is the range? Now you come, you say here since this morning. Now you will be leaving very soon. So how much have been your income today? And but as compared to President Wiata, how was your income like?
So now President Wiata, so now we can say the whole day will buy.
The whole day will buy.
Yeah, what this and for the people buy it at war.
Thank you so much. Your name again?
Elijah.
Funny. Stanton Waterspoon that Joseph Boakai junk. Joseph Boakai using to use a platform to come to power. Then Joseph Boakai dropping the ocean in on the show they making not jumping around. We confused. You know what's going on. You think that joke we joking here? We told you about Joseph Boakai from the beginning. You say, oh, not listen to us. The other one too that you be passing around with big money. Say you get policy, you know they want, you know that one, you know they want. John Molu. Oh, oh, my man, that other news today, man. Joseph Boakai junk in other news is John Molu. They made fool out of that one. They made fun out of him. Yes, they made fun out of him. Another Joseph Boakai John like John Lobo. He only Joseph Boakai John. Can you imagine the gate Noah Saul gives him who a blind man job? You can see them get your job. You passing around taking pictures all day, putting it off for people, the other person's birthday, my senior brother, my senior sister, and let me congratulate my senior brother, the MD, the other. You not see? You ready yet? You better put your legs together, my picking. You not ready yet? You are like no man like you, Joseph Boakai use all of your like junks in the town, and you passing around, whole day talking funny thing. You see what? Another Joseph Boakai John. But I want by Joseph Boakai eating, go straight in the grave, Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson, our Joseph Boakai. Oh, Joe Boba. Joe Boba, a big ball. I told you today we'll call the listing of all of Joseph Boakai Johns. The list too long. It is a countless list. A countless list. Joseph Boakai position, all of them. The only person that refused to be Joseph Boakai John. Like Yege Koluba, when Yege Koluba read it from distance, he said no. He said no. He said no. Another person who Joseph Boakai John, now Prince Johnson, Joseph Boakai gave him away. Joseph Boakai praising during the election, saying with dance.
What kind of new road they're doing? All the new road have Sudo CDC project. They have not got the new money, all the money that all the things we pay for. We pay and sign all the contracts. Some of the things we didn't sign contract, but the money was already procured. We had some of the money, we signed some of the loan, the money was available. When the contractual procurement process needs to be done, they can go into it because government are continuing with it. Look at RIA, they're taking RIA, all the money was done, contract signed, but the road is being done. But road cannot be done in one day. So people are doing the road again to power. He didn't want to do the road. Some of the road that you see going 80%. He did that 1 year they do 80% of the road. The road was being done, no one was leaving. The road from Tapita to Saklepe, from Tapita to Ganta, from San Nicolas to Logatuo, all the road in Nima going in the southeast, all done by CDC. But government are continuing with it, so you can't be continue. So they have not done anything new. But when you say to them, because the one we election, they see where a lot of kilo power, they'll continue a lot of see where, yeah. But when we're doing road, they say road was not priority. They said that road will eat. They said road should not have been done. The government should have focused on different things. Say we use road as one of our major pillars. Why they say they use everything doing? Everything doing about road building. What kind of new road they're doing? All the new road have Sudo CDC project. They have not got the new money, all the money that all the things that we pay for. We pay and sign all the contracts. Some of the things we didn't sign contract, but the money was already procured. We had some of the money, we signed some of the loan, the money was available. When the contractual procurement process needs to be done, they can go into it because government are continuing with it. Look at RIA, they're taking RIA, all the money was done, contract signed, but the road is being done. But road cannot be done in one day. So people are doing the road again to power. He didn't want to do the road. Some of the road that you see going 80%. He did that 1 year they do 80% of the road. The road was being done, no one was leaving. The road from Tapita to Saklepe, from Tapita to Ganta, from San Nicolas to Logatuo, all the road in Nima going in the southeast, all done by CDC. But government are continuing with it, so you can't be continue. So they have not done anything new. But when you say to them, because the one we election, they see where a lot of kilo power, they'll continue a lot of see where, yeah. But when we're doing road, they say road was not priority. They said that road will eat. They said road should not have been done. The government should have focused on different things. Say we use road as one of our major pillars. Why they say they use everything doing?
So we needed to get that money quickly. Minister Tour and his team immediately joined collaboration with us. We fought hard, negotiated with the relevant stakeholders, including the donors. The donors in this sense is the World Bank that provided the additional financing. So we went about to get that additional financing. It was signed and ratified in the legislature. So the minister led that whole process. We went to the legislature, we signed it. That gave life to the project. And at that time, the physical implementation, everything here was at a flow. The entire project in Liberia was about close to 20% physical implementation. And I'm proud to say now, where we are closely around 97% completion from Man all the way to this particular substation. And if you take 50,
So fellow Liberians home and abroad, we want you to kindly hit for us the share button. Today is going to be a very, very interesting, a segment of our presentation. Very interesting segment. But let's do this together. All right, so you can just hit for us the share button and let's get ready.
They will try, they will always fail. You will try, you will always fail. Mr. Yes, sir. Before you bury CDC, you my juke in my heart, in our heart. Together we die. Before you bury CDC, you my juke in my heart, in our heart. Our party in our heart. Before you bury CDC, you my juke in my heart, in our heart. Together we die. Before you bury CDC, you my juke in my heart, in our heart. Our party in our heart. Mr. Yes, sir. Excuse me, Mr. Yes, sir. 2020 now you getting us, sir. Mr. Yes, sir. Hear me, Mr. Yes, sir. 2020 now you getting us, sir. Mr. Yes, sir. After your CS, yeah, you running us, sir. Mr. Yes, sir. Is that how you came to rescue us? We so Boku talk. Bring the Boku talk. Hey, Mr. Yes, sir. But why, Mr. Yes, sir? The yellow machine butterfly. I wanna hell of a fly. It was about for the East, Mr. Yes, sir. Before you bury CDC, you my juke in my heart. Our party, our. They will try, they will always fail. You will try, you will always fail. Mr. Yes, sir. Before you bury CDC, you my in my heart, in our heart. Together we die. Before you bury CDC, you my juke in my heart, in our heart. Our party in our heart. Before you bury CDC, you my juke in my heart, in our heart. Together we die. Before you bury CDC, you my juke in my heart, in our heart. Our party in our heart. Mr. Yes, sir. Excuse me, Mr. Yes, sir. 2020 now you getting us, sir. Mr. Yes, sir. Hear me, Mr. Yes, sir. 2020 now you getting us, sir. Mr. Yes, sir. After your CS, yeah, you running us, sir. Mr. Yes, sir. Is that how you came to rescue us? We so Boku talk. Bring the Boku talk. Hey, Mr. Yes, sir. But why, Mr. Yes, sir? The yellow machine butterfly. I wanna hell of a fly. It was about for the East, Mr. Yes, sir. Before you bury CDC, you my juke in my heart.
Talk to Spoon, because Spoon fool the people in the book of Boakai. Yes, you told me how you told people that have been having 45 years experience. And see what's going on here. See what's going on here.
What's going on here? You want to lock the camera?
Very tough. Very tough.
When you say things are tough, what do you mean?
To get money, young man.
You want to look the camera?
To get money. You see the time?
To get money high right now?
One. Yes. See the US way. And the man with a 45-year experience, it's just a bluff. For nothing experience there. For nothing experience, Boakai brought you to the people here. You see, when you see all these police rolling behind you, taking your market, how people eat. Just my school coming open now. School just tell my school coming open. And
All right, so fellow Liberians, home and abroad, it's a privilege again for us to be on here. As usual, we want to use this time to extend our thanks and appreciation to all of you who continue to remain very supportive to what we do here. We want to say thank you so much. As you may be aware, the platform is your platform. This platform was established based on your quest for quality information, for a balanced information. And since then, all of us have been trying our hard possible best to ensure that we continue to promote the positive image of Liberia. We continue to speak against ills in society. We are here because of you. We continue to do what we do because of you. So again, we want to appeal to you. Kindly hit for us the share button, share with friends, share with family members, share in all of the groups that you find yourself in so that we can have a very wonderful time. Fellow Liberians, we have been saying for a while that there is a need for us to add some value to what we are doing. The economists will say the value added method, adding value to what you are doing. It has not been easy with schedules, work, and etc. etc. But again, we cannot compromise your taste for quality. You've been asking, you've been very eager for it, that we must add value to the platform. And fellow Liberians, we want to say to you that that process is taking shape, that identical request that you made to us is definitely taking shape. I am proud and I'm very humble to inform you that we are going to be having on every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we are going to be having what we refer to as the Redemption Hour. The
before you go and
Redemption
tell
Hour.
Boakai, you have to school, you tell Boakai, you should put your experience into use. Put your experience into use. We can see experience. 45 years experience, but more agriculturalist, you can see what it meant to my people.
But just finally, do you think the economic hardship you're talking about is the fault of the government, or is just the reality as per what's happening here?
So we are doing everything to add some value to what we do here. And we are grateful that, like Teacher Light will always say, we are getting there. We are getting there gradually. So, under the Palava Hut, we'll be hosting on every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday. We will be hosting what we call the Redemption Hour. The Redemption Hour will be bringing together former government officials. The Redemption Hour will be bringing together people who wants to see a better Liberia. The Redemption Hour will be bringing together people who will ensure that this government is held accountable for whatever they are doing. The Redemption Hour will bring together people who will ensure that the government is exposed and that ills in society are continue to be exposed and highlighted. So it's going to be a wonderful time. It's not going to be something that you will have it easy. No, because panelists that will be on the platform, rest assured that they are very, very well abreast with the information. They are people who know what they are saying and what they are doing. They are not going to just be talking because they want to talk, but they will be bringing what we call the empirical evidence, the facts to the public. So if you are looking for a place where objectivity meets facts, meets the authentic truth, the uncompromising truth, then this particular platform is your platform. Continue to hit the share button, invite others, and let's all have a wonderful time. We have few announcements. The first announcement that we have here has to do with the DMV chapter of the CDC USA. As you may be aware, every chapter is now gearing towards the big convention that we call the National Convention. And as incumbent, or as enshrined in our own documents, all of the chapters will have to have our own local convention. So the DMV will be having her convention on the 25th of October, 2025. So all of you are welcome. The DMV convention is going to be the 25th of October, and the venue is there on the flyer. That is 10699 Owens Brown Road in Columbia, in Maryland. So seditions from Washington, D.C., from Virginia, from Maryland, all over the United States, they will be coming to grace this occasion. So you are welcome. You are invited. Feel free. We are also going to be launching our membership drive. So fellow Liberians, those of you in the DMV area, you are welcome to the DMV convention. Get ready. Let's get started and make sure that we make a massive comeback to claim 2029. We also want to inform you that the national headquarters project is alive. Today it was officially, uh, there was an official press conference leading to the event for the groundbreaking ceremony. We'll be talking about that here. But when you look at the screen, you are going to see an information. And this information has to do with how you can be able to make your contribution or your contributions. We have the Cash App number. Those of you who want to contribute via Cash App, the number is there. And that number is 484 477 8731. We also have the Zelle number. The Zelle number is the same, 484 477 8731. And we have the bank transfer. So if you want to transfer it through the bank directly, the number is there. The bank account is 969052833. So through whatever means, Cash App, Zelle, or through the bank. And the good thing about it is that everybody that will pay, your name will be captured and will be displayed on the website, will be acknowledged by the global leadership. So again, these are the different medium, especially for those of you that are in the USA. These are the different medium that you can be able to make your contribution via Cash App, Zelle, and that of the bank. So the one in Liberia, we're going to bring it here, we're going to display it. So get ready, fellow Liberians, and it's going to be a wonderful, 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 wonderful time. We will definitely talk about this. We will talk about this, as the show progresses. But again, we want to say welcome to all of you. We appreciate all of you, and it is a privilege again for us to have you here. The Redemption Hour again is going to be on every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, which will be 12 Central Time, and the rest of the other time. So on every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday, we will be here for 2 hours. We will be bringing on people from different spectrum of our society. And these people will be discussing issues as it relates to Liberia. So get ready, share the platform, and it's going to be a wonderful thing. If you have the means, invite somebody. Tell somebody to tell somebody that indeed the redemption hour is here. So again, have yourself a wonderful time. Hit the share button and let's get ready to do this together. There will be adjustment, as you are aware. When you're starting something, there will be some adjustment, upward adjustment, downward adjustment. But again, we are depending on your support and looking up to you to ensure that this survive. And in order for it to survive, for you to ensure that this is infinitive, you got to share your comments, your contribution in terms of sharing, you know, uh, buttressing the ideas, and if possible, coming up with your own dissenting opinion. We just want to say this: just be respectful, because we know that the platform, we cannot be able to censor your thought. But again, even if you would disagree with whoever, be respectful of their view, be respectful of their opinion. What we will not tolerate is insult. You don't have to insult somebody to get your point across. You can get your point across, you can disagree with whoever without any insult, and you will be good. So, on this note, fellow Liberians, we are grateful to have one of the key, or one would say the lead panelist, or one would say maybe the host. Will just be here, and the platform, you will have moderators, rotating. But we are grateful to have with us the Honorable Randolph Masekwe Dugbayu II. Honorable Dugbayu, welcome to the Redemption Hour under the Palava Hut. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, my dear brother Prince Sharif. You are the host, you are the lead on the show. We are just here as panelists. I'm glad we've been joined by Pastor Success AB. And so, honor your voice today. We are glad to be here to have a platform exclusively dedicated to disseminating information wholly needed by our listening populace. So like you articulated, I like to emphasize that the redemption hour is our decisive response mechanism, our decisive response platform, where we've been vertically erected to unclothe the field unity party-led government. We are going to cut through on this platform with their deceit. We know the Unity Party is a group of deceitful people. They are from a deceitful planet. Everything about the Unity Party is all about lies, deceit, dishonesty, and they lie their way to power. So on this show, we are going to unclothe the hard truth, and we are going to resuscitate the hope of the people and give them the desired information they need. This is where we're going to mobilize, like you said, we're going to mobilize the funniest minds in our country in the opposition bloc to hold Mr. Boakai regime accountable for his broken promises, the promises of free school, the promises of ensuring that every Liberian citizen has a free healthcare service, the promise of undoing the harmonization, the failed promise of increasing people's salary and then making the University of Labrador a state-of-the-art campus. All of these promises are lied, they were unfounded, they have no basis. Mr. Boakai and his group of Luther have just ruined the progress of our country. And so this platform is the people's megaphone. This is where we gather under the Palava Hut to chart the course of liberating our people from the bondage of abject poverty, the bondage of economic stagnation created by Mr. Boakai. We are here to create that quantum. You know, they go on another show called Reloaded, Cash Reloaded, or whatever it is. They lie every day. This is where seditions, this is where peaceful Liberian, conscious minded and nationalistic Liberians are required to gather to listen to some, issue-based conversation that talks about the issue of the day. So, Mr. Prince Sharif, I'm glad to be on here today. I'm glad that I see Pastor Sose Mandira's co-panelists, Abu Bakar Ba, and everyone. So, fellow Liberians, you are welcome. This is your show, and this is where you should be. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very kindly, Honorable Wanda Masekwe Dugbayu. Now, for the public, I just want you to take the next maybe 30 seconds to tell Liberians who you are. Who is the Honorable Randolph Masekwe Dugbayu the second?
So, Randolph Dugbayu, I am a public sector actor, a Christian by nature. I also a free thinker. I'm religiously tolerant. Evident of the fact that one of my closest friends in the past 15 years has been Abu Bakar Ba. He's from a different religion. We are good friends. And I am an environmentalist by career and also a food system specialist and a food system expert. I'm also a occupational safety practitioner as well and a climate justice advocate. And that just for me from a professional standpoint. I am a teacher by career. I do a lot of teaching. I, at some point in time, teach at AMU where I serve as an adjunct instructor for global climate change. And I am an educator. I've been doing that for over 15 years. I used to teach at the high school level. And so at this point, I'm just here as a nationalist who believes that our country deserves better. I've traveled all around the world. I listened to Mr. Boakai from the inception of this government. I look at his lieutenant. I look at his errors agenda. I'm here today to give unto Liberian what it deserves, to include the contradiction in the my governing practices that Mr. Boakai and his regime are garmenting in our country. So thank you very much. That just a brief introduction of myself, Mr. Prince Sharif.
Thank you so very kindly. Distinguished people, our wonderful audience, our wonderful family. Here we say our family. We've also been joined by the Honorable Abu Bakar Ba. Honorable Abu Bakar Ba, welcome under the Palava Hut with the Redemption Hour. Welcome, sir.
Well, my dear brother Prince Sharif, thank you very much. Thanks for welcoming me, and thanks for this very enlightening platform that you have here. And let me say a good afternoon from my end to brother and friend Randall Master Stroke Masakwe Dobayu II, the National Deputy Secretary for Research and Record of our able and noble political institution, Congress for Democratic Change. And I see my dear brother and colleague, scholar in David B. Collet, just join in the conversation. Yes, so I'm very thrilled, happy, and very elated to be on this very esteemed platform along with the men of God who will be leading you into some spiritual, activity, speaking with wisdom, being endowed by the law. That in 2029, be a walk in the park. It's the Field Unity Party-led government that has come to power to maximize low productivity and distributing untold poverty and wanton corruption and the lack of care for our citizens, especially young girls. We see how they are being abused on a daily basis by government officials who should be providing protection for them. And many other things. So we are happy just to be here to be able to share the platform with one of Liberia, or may I say, some of Liberia's best. We are all from different professional meeting here. We serve as a medium or a conduit which our Liberian people can be educated, be informed, and their understanding can be increased from different perspectives from people with different professional and career backgrounds. Yes, so Prince, I'm so happy to be here, and we look forward to maintaining this platform with civility and sobriety.
Thank you so much, Honorable Abubakar Ba. Just use the next 30 seconds. Somebody just asked me, say, well, who is Honorable Abubakar Ba? As it relates to the party, as it relates to his own, maybe political affiliation. Who is Honorable Abubakar Ba?
Well, Abubakar Ba, Liberian professional, a graduate of the University of Liberia, with a first degree in management. Later on, enrolled at the Career Development Institute School of Public Policy and Management, where I got my master in development policy with double concentration, international development, public administration, and leadership. I serve as former assistant minister for urban affairs at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, where I focus on city administration and governance, where we work to ensure that we have a national urban Bureau, a very important document that we, met when we came to power, and we continue, its foundation. And also, I like Randall, I'm an instructor at the University of Liberia, where I teach development administration area, and a very quiet but very enthusiastic Liberian who is concerned about national growth and development. We're concerned about the kind of policy that our government engages in on a daily basis, meant to either progress or retrogress the living standards of our people. Yes. So yes, just that's a little bit about me. As the conversation goes on, we will get to know each other better and better. And yeah, so yeah, let me yield for now.
Thank you so kindly, Honorable Abubakar Ba. Thank you so very kindly. We do appreciate you. We are also privileged to have with us the Honorable David B. Kole. Honorable Kole, thank you and welcome on the Palava Hut with the Redemption Hour. Welcome, sir. Yeah, you can just unmute yourself. Please unmute yourself from your end. You can unmute yourself, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, fine. You good.
Okay. So, a very good morning, a very good evening, wherever you are. And I'd like to thank all of my distinguished colleagues that are in studio there. I'd like to thank Ronald W for reminding me and extending the invitation to me. And I also like to thank you, Brother Prince Sharif, for this very important show. I also like to thank our other colleague who's with us, Pastor Success. Uh, I'm happy that we have this kind of platform where professionals from different backgrounds and different persuasions in their professional life can come together and discuss issues appertaining to the affairs of our country. And I'm grateful because we in the diaspora, Liberians in the diaspora, need to know, are informed like Liberians on the ground And so we also need to inform other Liberians that are also in the diaspora about what's happening on the ground. As a matter of fact, the current Unity Party-led government is a laundry of crooks and thieves who have amalgamated themselves, as a united front to destroy our country. What we built over time, the country we wish to have, they've destroyed. So I believe that this platform is going to be a conduit through which we will educate our people, we will inform our people, and we'll tell our people the way forward for our country. So I'd like to thank you, Prince, from the bottom of my heart, and to Randall and to all of our distinguished colleagues for organizing this. We can have a civil conversation about the direction we want our country to go. So I'm grateful to be on this platform. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much, Honorable Kole. For the next just 30 seconds, just tell us who you are. Sorry, what you affiliate with. Whether you are a free thinker, like some people say, I'm a free thinker. Whether you are affiliated with a political institution, a professional background. Just in 30 seconds, just tell us.
Okay, so I am a member of the Congress for Democratic Change. As a matter of fact, I've affiliated with the Congress for Democratic Change in 2004, and I'm a public policy, geopolitical, and strategist. I currently I'm the director for international cooperation and exchange for Beijing Technology Company. Um, I'm also uh, uh, a PhD candidate at Peking University, where I obtained my master's degree. Currently, I'm studying international security with emphasis on marine security. And so I believe we can have a conversation about our country from different perspectives. The security of our country has been something that's been very worrisome. The manner in which the security apparatus and the handlers of the security apparatus are taking the country is very troublesome. So I am here to contribute to whatever civil conversation we having. As I say, I'm a member of the Congress for Democratic Change, a geopolitical and international relations security strategist and specialist. Thank you, Prince.
Thank you so much, Honorable Colette. Thank you so very kindly. We move on to Pastor Success A.B. Dennis. Pastor Success A.B. Dennis, this place is not a strange terrain for you. This is your terrain. But again, uh, for the one we say, the Redemption Hour, this is your debut appearance. So let's know. Welcome under the Palava Hut and just give us, a kind of introduction of yourself. Thank you. Unmute yourself, please. Just unmute yourself.
Thank you, Prince. Thank you to Mr. Zobayu. Thank you to Mr. Ba, Mr. Fuller, everybody that are on this platform to provide the uncompromising reality and truth for the power match of our nation to unearth the lies and those degenerates being, fostered by this Boakai regime. Like you already stated, my name is Pastor Sasa Dennis. I've been into full-time ministry for more than 20 years. And yes, I'm a member of the Congress for Democratic Change. I've been with the CDC since 2005. And we're still here, continuing the forward march of the party. So, yeah, basically, I reside in the U.S. Currently, I'm in New Mexico, in Albuquerque, where I sign and I'm working. But I'm actually from Iowa, there where I live. And I just want to say thank you for establishing this platform and, giving us the opportunity to speak to the Liberian people and the globe on the unfolding in Mama Liberia.
Thank you so much, Pastor Success A.B. Dennis. We do appreciate you. And fellow Liberians, again, we want to welcome all of you. Our own ambassador for the platform, Venetia's Junior Bar. We want to say you are welcome. Patrick Ray, thank you so much. Honorable Say, thank you so much. We appreciate all of you. The names are just popping up. Uh, Easy, Emmanuel, I mean, all of you. We want to welcome all of you. We appreciate all of you. As usual, we kindly ask that you hit for us the share button, share with friends, share with family members, and let's all have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. I want to start from our own brother, Honorable Colette. You witness the arrival of His Excellency President Dr. George Manuel Weah to Liberia, and you also witness the arrival of Mr. Joseph Numa Boakai. You saw what happened. I mean, the event leading to, or the happenings that is associated with the both events. What message is Liberian sending? What did you gather? I mean, observing the arrival of the two, the current president and that of His Excellency President Dr. George Manuel Weah. What is the message that Liberians are sending? Seeing Liberians waiting on the sidewalk, waiting for His Excellency, going there in their numbers. And as compared to how, the government was able to pay people to ensure that Joseph Numa Boakai, is welcome. What is that message that you think Liberians are sending? What is it that you think you want us to capture from there, from your own end?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Prince. The message from our people is very simple. First of all, when you look at the country, Liberia at the moment, Liberia is on life support. Liberia is in a very critical, daring condition. The people all across our country are currently those who voted for Mr. Boakai to become president are regretting their action. If you call in Bond County, for instance, where I come from, Central Bond County, Banga Town, those who even campaign for Mr. Boakai are complaining of the challenges, the economic hardship, the security challenges, and everything there too. What you saw on the arrival of the former president, Dr. George M. Weah, is a testament of how the people feel and the challenges they are facing. This was an expression of what's unfolding in the country. First of all, the government is insensitive to the plight of the people. From every spectrum of the government, every sphere of the government is insensitive. When it comes to the economy, Mr. Boakai, for instance, summoned his finance minister and other actors in the government, the LRA boss, and told these people to raise $10 million so that he can build his retirement home in Foya Lofa County. When teachers are not on the government payroll, and most of these teachers have not taken pay, even those that are on the payroll, have not taken pay for more than 6 months. When the state-run university, where President Weah in the first 100 days of his administration ordered the Minister of Finance to digitize the registration process and also ensure that a major policy shift in terms of free tuition was launched at the state-run university. The government is not able to provide support for the University of Liberia, but the government is able to summon the Minister of Finance and the LRA boss to give him $10 million to take it to Foya, give the contract to his nephew, and they are constructing his retirement home. The light that the MRU had sanctioned that project, the press office of the MRU came and said, no, the MRU does not know anything about this project. This project is exclusive, a Liberian government project. You listen to marketers all across the country. You go to the Ominga market, you go to the Red Light market, you go to the Dupero market. Economic hardship. This is an expression of the challenges that the people are facing. So what you saw on the arrival of President Weah was that Mr. President, we are sorry. We are sorry for making the wrong decision in 2023. We have come to correct our mistakes.
Thank you.
When Mr. Boakai came, you saw the turnout. Even though the government was paying people, you listen to one of the videos, somebody said we came to collect our benefit. Even though the government was paying people to attend their program, it was poorly attended. What you see is not going to be any different from what will happen in 2029. There's going to be a massive tsunami of support for President Weah in 2029 because
So
of his
before,
past record.
thank you, Honorable Colette. So before we move on to Honorable Dogbayu, one would say His Excellency President Dr. George Manuel Weah has always been, a people-centered person. People has always been attracted to this particular president. We saw that, one would say, during the campaign of 2023,
Mhm.
where
Mhm.
he pulled the crowds wherever he goes. But at the end of the day, we saw that the result, are completely different. So one would argue that it's of no this thing has no political relevance. People love him, yes, he is loved. So to use that number and say it will accumulate to vote is deceptive. How do you
What's
respond to that in 30 seconds?
Prince, what's going to accumulate a vote is the living standard of the people. That's what's going to accumulate a vote. When you go to bed and you have $500 to go to the market and they sell you one cup of rice for $80, then you will go to bed the next day. When you come to vote, you will vote and the numbers will accumulate to votes. That is what is exactly that is going to happen. The state of affairs, the state of the economy, the security of the state, all over the country, they are dead bodies. All over the country. All
Thank you.
over the country, they are dead bodies.
Thank you.
The
Thank you.
government, the United Party government came to power on propaganda, but they cannot run the country on propaganda because everything is open. The social media is here, it's creating check and balances. You see everything in your full view. So this is not going to be about the people, the crowd that we saw that welcome President Weah versus the crowd that did not welcome President Weah. No, the economy is going to show the difference in the 2029 elections.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Honorable Randolph Masekwe Dogbayu, you saw what happened. The mammoth crowd,
Yeah.
huge crowd, people standing on the road. It reminds me of the Bible when Christ was his triumphant entry, where you saw people on the street, "Oh, hey, hey." But at the end of the day, these were the very people that said, crucify him. What do you make? Do your own comparative. Liberians want to hear from you relative to the arrival of His Excellency President Dr. George Manuel Weah and that of Joseph Numa Boakai. Let's hear from you, sir.
So on this one, I think David Kule have said it all, and he lay a very strong basis that is grounded in logic and simple reasoning. While we Liberians, and especially in Makibi County, a county that we were disproportionately defeated as per the record. In Makibi County, while we Liberian pastors so say in their sound mind, having enjoyed the benefit and nutrients of this government, while we're Liberians, in their pleasant mind, having been rescued by this government, while we're Liberian, in their just mind, having been rescued with healthcare services, while we're there, I think it was on a Monday or Tuesday, a very busy day, while will they leave their busy activities, their busy schedule to abandon everything, go at the airport, even so, when they were unmercifully beaten, their rights were encroached upon. Article 1 of our Liberian Constitution were blatantly violated in the both fields of camera and internet. They were beaten through the mandate of Mr. Gregory Como. Even so, all of these unpleasant factors and variables, you saw how jammed the airport was, and on a rain, it tense rain on that day. So beyond the question you asking, I will now ask, why will Liberian, everything being constant that they are enjoying, the harmonization has been deharmonized, the universal liberal has attained instead of the status. We see nurses, those that were saying you harmonize my pay or harmonize your food. These people, why were they in the circumference of broad reasoning leave and go at the airport? I will tell you the reasons are simple and they are grounded in a splendid logic presented by Brocole. And these people have now realized that Mr. Boakai is nobody but a giant sized liar. He goes around, he lies about everything. His lieutenants are also, they've graduated from the school of lying, they lie about everything. And so Liberians now are beginning to recognize the fact that a man doesn't give what he doesn't have. I usually tell people that Craig doesn't donate blood because he doesn't have it. You only give what you have. It's been 2 years and they're still shifting blame. So if you want to shift blame, why did you tell or you have come to rescue? Mr. Boakai made a pronouncement in District number 15, 2023, that when he becomes president, all concessions in this country will be repealed. Nothing has happened. In fact, one of the major concessions in Magimi, when the people have gone there to display their disposition on how the concessionaires are behaving, they were beaten. Some were killed. They were brutalized. Beyond human imagination. That was the beginning point of Mr. Boakai. The late Grespe, the Professor Grespe, he was involved with the 500,000 scandal at the NASCO, National Social Security and Welfare Corporation. No investigation whatsoever. They said they wanted car. In similar time period, car was available for that similar item. Mr. Boakai purchased a Lexus in a tune of 2 million. Guess what? His Lexus even arrived before their yellow machine that they promised. The Lexus arrived before the Awolowo buses for the people. So why wouldn't the people gather there? The people have gathered because they are seeing the light. They recognize that Mr. Boakai and his government, they said we were incompetent. They said the CDC government was incompetent. It took Mr. Boakai 1 complete year to set up his government. An opposition is a government in waiting. The fact that you took that long, it suggests that you were not ready. The arrest agenda, the people have gone to welcome President Weah because they recognize that Mr. Weah, within less than 8 months, your proper agenda for prosperity was online. It took their government more than 1 year, and still their agenda was not available. So, because of gross administrative inconsistency, because of lack of political will, because they've lied and they've grossly failed in terms of deliverable, these are few of the many reasons why the people gather in, they volunteer and gather. They know where you could talk those people at RIA. Those people you saw, they are from Semenotes, they are from in the immediate vicinity of the RIA. They gather there to say, you know what? Enough is enough. Our children are no longer providing food for us. Motorbikes are not running. They're beating motorbikes more than they are catching criminals. They are beating the marketeers, then they are catching rapists. So because of these variable, these gross governance lapses, the people have gathered to send a strong message. And that was the message that Kule was talking about.
On that identical day, Liberia was also receiving the delegation from the MCC, from the United States. They were also coming at the airport, and we saw heavy presence of the Liberia National Police. Do you think that that particular strategy was used by the CDC in order to create a very, negative picture, or they went there basically to disturb? What is your counter argument to those who are saying that, well, CDC now, the people want to cause noise? They knew that people were coming from the States, so they just wanted to create a situation where the place would just be noisy to create a negative picture before our international partner that were coming to ensure that Liberia have a very good space on the MCC. How do you counter at that particular argument, sir?
That concept is an anti-nationalistic concept. A Liberian citizen, a man who came from slum to stardom, who became the former president, the former bearer of the sovereign authority of the state. You know what I mean to be this? To be bearing the sovereign authority of the state. When a president is in motion, do you know why people stop? You know why people stop? If you don't know why people stop when the president convoy is moving, you're not stopping because of the individual. You're stopping because the president is carrying a seal and a flag. That is the sovereignty of the state. A man who once bear that standard is coming into the country. He has announced that he's coming in the country. The police and everyone was aware. A man of that stature, and you talk about MCC, if you were growing in the country of those MCC citizens, they would not behave the way you behave to your citizen. That's being disrespectful to your citizen. That's not understanding your citizen's democratic right. In fact, he's not an ordinary citizen. He's a citizen who went into election with you, and you won with a number margin. The margin of 17,000 is like the universal Liberia election in figurative terms. So he's coming into the country who is more of a dignity, more so the very NCC you are talking about. Some of the very indicators they use to grade you are your tolerance to opposition, your tolerance in the democratic space you create for people to peacefully and peaceably assemble and express their democratic will, for you to govern us and use a draconian police enforcement tactic only because you want everyone to capitulate to your bad governance. That will not work. So the question now will be, why will the government, or why should the government go outside there to beat peaceful citizens and intimidate them? The government also should not set any laws. Who told you those MCC dedication were not on Facebook? They knew it did not call for that. The airport is very big. In fact, that Joseph Boakai came to Nazi, who told you there were no other diplomats that were coming. So the question, the argument from the question of Mr. Boakai and Gregory Coleman makes no sense. The Liberian people resisted them peacefully. The Liberian people resisted them with patriotic resistance. So what we saw on that day, in a nutshell, was a display of anger. The people are self-mobilized and they are sending a message to Mr. Boakai, but Mr. Boakai is adamant in ignoring it, and the people are patiently waiting.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Honorable Abubakar Ba, President Weah era, Joseph Nyuma Boakai era, the euphoria, the message. What are Liberians saying? What are you reading? One who have worked with the Liberian people, as a public servant, one who interact with them on every spectrum of the society, from every angle. What is that message that you think continue to resonate with the people as it relates to just the arrival of the both leader? Let's hear from you, sir.
Oh, thank you very much, Prince, and thanks to my colleagues who have all spoken very splendidly, very excellently. They are well aware of the situation that our people have to face every day. Going back to your question, the message is very clear, crystal clear, that is visible to the blind and audible to the deaf. People who cannot see nor hear, they have some physical disability. They can see the inability of this administration to deliver on its promises made to the Liberian people. They overly promise the people. It is like you, Prince, there's this guy who is married to this beautiful girl in the town. You go there and tell this guy every day, look, this guy is wasting your time. He cannot take care of you. He's not doing well for you. He's unable to take care of you. You have to leave that guy and come to me. And I will make sure that every month I will give 500 United States dollars as your allowance. I will ensure that every 3 days you go to the salon to fix your hair. I will ensure that every 1 week you go and shopping. And predicated upon that, that lady fell for that and got and divorced that guy and got married to you, Prince. And then when she got in your house on the first day, up to almost 3 years, you cannot do anything. That even take her, you had promised that you would take her to the salon every 3 days. She had not gone in the 3 years. She had not gone to that salon, not more than twice. And this is something that she should have done twice weekly. So that is just a little bit of, of making this whole entire thing to appear. CDC was in power. George Manuel Weah was president of the Republic of Liberia. George Manuel Weah was building local housing unit on free of charge, giving it to poor people, marginalized people. In fact, even gifting journalists, the female journalists of Liberia, gifting them, a state-of-the-art headquarters. George Weah had gone to the University of Liberia and saw how it was difficult to enroll at the University of Liberia. He digitized the University of Liberia. George Weah saw that Liberian students are eager to learn but financially entrapped. He made sure that the WAS payment was something that was done across the country. He made sure that the University of Liberia and other public institutions of learning were free of charge. He did so. George Weah made sure that community roles, Dole community, some of us we used to go to Dole community during our very young age. Rainy season, whenever you want to visit a friend there, you have to wear short trousers. You go there with shower slipper. You don't go there with sneakers or shoes on. George Weah made sure that today there is a paved road there. There's a recreation center there, and the replica of recreational centers are all over Monserrado County, and it was on the verge of extending to the other counties, the 14 other counties. George Weah was doing all of these things. Unity Party people, they use the social media, they use the traditional media, they demonize everything that was done by the government, thereby weaponizing the citizens against the government of George Manneh Weah. All of what George Weah did, they did not see. Though it was difficult for them to have defeated George Weah, it's just, a margin of error, 1%. But George Weah is the former president of Liberia. Mr. Boakai came and said that nurses were not going on strike. Today, the former standard bearer of the Unity Party-led government was going for a checkup with her doctor at the ELW hospital. She was greeted with protesting nurses and doctors. The JFK has become a center that can better be referred to as just for killing Honor Joseph Juma Boakai. People are lying down on the bare ground because there are no hospital beds. Women are giving birth on the outside of the hospital, not even in the fence, because they dare not enter there. So the message is clear that the favorable living condition that the people had during the George Manneh Weah, that has eroded. That is no longer existing. And so George Weah, who was making them to live better, is coming. So this is a way of telling him that George Weah, even if you are not thinking about getting on the ballot in 2029, we are telling you that we will force you to be on our ballot and will re-elect the President of the Republic of Liberia.
Thank you so much. Honorable Abubakar Ba, before we take leave of you to the next panelist, one would say it is too early for you to make such a conclusion. Why are you looking at just at this event and you want to, just celebrate with just this event? Why you have more years to go? The Unity Party, they have entered, their third year, they are in their 3 years. So it's an illusion for you to use just this occasion and then, try to read the minds of the Liberian people that, they are frustrated with the government. What is your own response to that, sir?
Did I hear you say too early? Hunger does not know any time. Poverty does not know time. The corruption that is going on in the country, it has got no time to know that we are in 2025 or we are in what the government continue to do. The government that should be protecting our citizens, especially the young ones and the old ones, the ones that cannot afford. That is the government that is in competition now. How to gang rape young children, school-going children. When you think about these situations, you will not say that it's too early. By asking that question, people might get angry with you, Prince, that the government official do not know that it is early to steal. They don't know that it is late to steal. They don't know that, you do not steal from the Liberian people. That is what on an industrial scale. When you say that early, it's not early to send a message to Boakai that in 2029 he will be retired.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Pastor Sources A.B. Dennis, let's hear from you, sir, as it relates to the arrival of President Weah and that of Mr. Boakai. Let's hear from you, sir. Unmute yourself, please. unmute yourself. Yeah.
I want to say thanks to my colleagues who have handled very well. But Prince, they have just answered this question. It's, the answer is simple. Very, very simple. So think about it. Here is the government. From the inception of this government, they won. Like when people say, okay, well, though we know that the election was marked with some law irregularity, fraud, and the rest of it, but at the end of the day, it took the mantle of the leadership in the country. The country was turned over to you to govern. And the first reward you gave the people as a result of electing you as a government was to go into a concession area where citizens who you ought to protect were saying, look, we are not happy with things are conducted. I think we have been ill-treated. We need some level of attention. You send police and they brutalize those people in King George and killed their citizens. You did not stop there. Okay? You are carrying on uncontrollable, massive corruption in your government. And as a result of the high level of corruption in your government, some major incentive of the people have been deprived. No good health care, no education, and so on. You did not stop there. You go on raping young girls all over the place. Your internal affairs minister was seen on video with a lady in the hotel crying and claiming that she was being raped by the minister. You did nothing about it. You did not stop there. After you are constantly condemned, right? The CDC regime, you did not stop there. On this private jet issue, you went on riding private jet from area to area, from area to area. So now that President Weir is returned to the country, the people have come to realize that it seems to be we made a mistake by believing in the lies that were told by these rascals who call themselves rescue team. And the way we can prove that we regret our action by voting the way we voted is to turn out, is to cause a human tsunami at the RIA, to welcome the immediate former president of the republic. So the people converge in their number from every walk of life to say, welcome home. And we are also promising you that whatever mistake we made, we'll rewrite that mistake in 2029. That was a message they were sending out. Okay? So the Liberian people and the rest of the world. And it displayed the level of simplicity, it displays of the weakness of this government. You just said, Prince, the pain of the compass were coming into the country. The MCCT delegation were coming to the country. And it was incumbent, or it is incumbent on this government to always be tolerant, to always exhibit high level of degree of respect for your citizens. But on the contrary, we saw what happened at the RIA. Citizens was brutalized because they converged in the name of CDC to welcome President Weir. They were ill-treated. When you know your delegate were coming to the country, where you're supposed to present yourself as a responsible government, you went that low to be irresponsible. And your police were seen on camera shooting tear gas like they were playing Lulu as citizens. Harmless citizens who were not causing trouble, who were not being violent to you, you choose to treat them the way you treated them. So the Liberian people converged on that day. They congregated on that day. They gathered on that day. The troop from everywhere to send out a caveat to this evil regime to tell us, look, the mistake we made 2023, we'll correct it 2029. So I think that's why the people gather at the RRA.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to start from the Honorable Dogbayu. Honorable Dogbayu, something happened in Liberia during the very inception of, the conflict that was ignited in the House by the government to remove the Speaker, Honorable Funati Kofa. While that conflict was going on, we saw that the government was able to sneak in, whether a bill or whatever, to increase GST taxes, general services taxes, by 12%. We saw that it was not discussed lengthily on these various, medium that people will have their own take. But we woke up the next morning and saw that all of our basic commodity, they were affected by the increase in the taxes. Of recent, we saw something very, I don't know, what else you say, strange or so, where we saw the US rate just drop significantly, but the prices of basic commodities continue to skyrocket. What is going on? What is happening with all of these? What can you say to us?
So the very basis on which Mr. Boakai initiated a removal of the speaker was to do things clandestinely, because Mr. Speaker was not capitulating to their undemocratic tenets. So, Mr. Prince, if you ask me to this point, what Mr. Boakai is doing, what he's doing, then you try to embarrass the conversation. Mr. Boakai told you and said he's going to ride wheelbarrow to go to job, to go to work. He's writing a lesson that cost $2.20 million. And you still have the energy to ask me why people suffering. Mr. Boakai doesn't care about Liberian people. Mr. Boakai goes home with $100,000 on his credit card. He doesn't care. Mr. Boakai, as a president, he increases the budget of the Ministry of State, while the Ministry of Education budget has been reduced. His own Ministry of Agriculture budget go in their first recast budget. See what happened there. You were here when it is alleged that 30,000 was distributed to each lawmaker to remove a sitting speaker. Nothing happened. To this point, there has been no explanation whatsoever on the so-called ISON at the Capitol building. President Boakai went at that Capitol building the first day without investigation. The word he used, arson, today is the most used words in Liberia on that particular case. So the rate increasing, the rate has always increased when Unity Party is in power. The rate increasing, the rate will increase when you have a group of people in the country who are engaged in the money laundering. Not me, it is the IMF and the United States Department that said that. We'll talk about that report later on. It's not me. In that country, drugs user and drugs dealer, they are proliferating. Most of the people who sell drugs, they need United States dollar to go and purchase the drug. So United States dollar have left the country in mass. There's less United States dollar. We don't control the reserve. We don't control the foreign exchange market, because the United States dollar is a legal tender from America. We use it as our legal tender, which is also a monetary embarrassment for us. So in the nutshell, I'm not economists have no real strength in economic, but common logic tells me that when things are difficult, because the bank admitted, they said they were holding the money. Why were they holding the money? They don't know. So, Mr. Prince Sharif, I govern by a leader who doesn't care about what happens in the country. He cares about himself. He cares about political witch hunting. He cares about, being trivial to the extent that you would deny former president access to use the VIP lounge. So when you have a trivial president who trivializes everything, that is the result. The U.S. rate will go up, and that U.S. rate, coming down, it doesn't correspond with market demand. Everywhere in the world, the U.S. rate, when it comes down, it has to correspond with market forces. That is not happening. So you don't need to be an economist to know that it was artificial. They wanted to send a message that U.S. press is coming down only because they are imposter. They impose, they lie, they deceive in everything they do. So that entire rate coming down was deception.
Very true, Rana. Very true, Rana.
Economic policy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Honorable Kole,
Yes.
let's hear from you. How does this, you are in the business area, you are interacting with people, etc. How can you explain this to Liberian? The prices of things just continue to rise up, and then the US rate is down. People saying no money on the Liberian market, I mean the Liberian dollars. People can highly fund it. The bank is saying no, we have Liberian dollars. What is going on? How can you explain this?
First of all, let me explain it in the simplest term. The government is wicked and the government is insensitive. What do I mean? The government is wicked and the government is insensitive. The government is creating an artificial shortage of the Liberian dollars on the market under a term called sterilization. Sterilization in economics means that you hold the local currency so that you appreciate the value of the local currency. But how does this happen? If your export, okay, which is at a deficit now, our export cannot match our input. So we are at something in the economics called trade deficit. If we are at a deficit, we cannot carry on sterilization. Imbalancing trade, we cannot carry on sterilization. You cannot hold the money so the Liberian dollars can appreciate because the market factors are still constant. Your import is more than your export. You are suffering from trade deficit. In balancing trade, you are not sending out the quantity of goods that's supposed to create or balance the economy, that's supposed to reduce inflation, that's supposed to bring in the foreign currency. So you are creating an artificial situation. What happens? The local people, the ordinary people, are the people that are going to feel the pinch, right? If a man is supposed to get 20,000 from his $100, and you bring the rate down to 170 or 180, he will get 18,000. He's going to be losing 2,000 when the price of the commodities are still the same. So what the government has been doing over time, and they attempted this thing in the past, but they did this recently at a grander scale because the rate was depreciating so badly, inflation was going up so badly. So what they're doing, it's actually going to impact the ordinary people. What the government is supposed to do, the government is supposed to increase circular flow, but you cannot be increasing circular flow or you cannot be increasing household income when you're dismissing people from their jobs. You dismiss 500 people from their jobs. These people are supposed to go in the market to buy food. When you buy biscuit from somebody, the woman that is selling that biscuit also go and buy from the person that is selling in the store. The man that is selling in the store, he will give the money that the man that can clear the container from the ship. The man that can clear the container from the ship will take the money and go pay his daughter's school fee. A circular flow. The government is not putting bread on the people table, so inflation is going to have an impact on the economy. So the sterilization that was done by the government by withholding 13.4 billion Liberian dollars from the market was an act of cruelty, economic cruelty, political cruelty to the Liberian people. And it is also thievery. You are stealing from the people because all of the excess that is going to remain cannot be reflected on any balance sheet. What they do with that money? Because the money exchange people will take the money to the central bank. So the difference of if each $100, if you change the $100 for 170 or 180, the difference of 2,000 that is on it, where does it go? Because the market situation, the market factors do not align with your sterilization policy. What are you doing? Are you not stealing?
So Honorable Colette, one would say that you've been political here Because the sterilization basically is to give an appreciation to your own local currency, so that at the
Mm.
end of the day, you can have too much of your money running behind so that the rate cannot be high. So, from all indication, one would say that this is a very good economic model that was put in place by the government to ensure that our money has some level of value, and that at least we control and be able to stabilize our economy, instead of just allowing it to just move as it is, where we see the rate will just go up.
No, the
And your
value.
own analysis is just political. Is grown
No,
out
this
of
is
a
not
political
political.
approach. How do you respond to
Call
that, sir?
all, call all the economists in the world. This is not political. The appreciation of the currency cannot be superficial, okay? And it cannot be artificial. You cannot say that you do not have the factors in the market to be able to balance your action you are taking, your fiscal action or your monetary action you are taking. If you don't have the factors in the market, for instance, what are you importing? We import 80% of everything we eat, we consume in our country. Okay? What are we exporting? We are exporting gold, we are exporting iron ore, we are exporting rubber. Now there's a ban on exporting rubber. Okay, we are exporting some cocoa, we are exporting some coffee. Look at our 2024 report on the export, on our export. Gold is 648 million. How much come to the country? Less than 6% comes to the country. Local iron ore, more than 128%. So what I'm saying in short, our export is less than our export is less than our import is hampering the rate. And this is a reality because the government has not been able to create new jobs. There are
Thank you.
no new jobs in the informal sector. Okay? Then in the public sector, that is the largest employer. They are taking people from their jobs. So you're going to impact household income. You're going to impact disposable income. You're going to impact transitory income. Because if I don't have sufficient money for my family, why should I give money to somebody? So
Thank you.
the
Thank you.
impact is large. So it's also impacting circular flow. Nobody wants to spend money.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Honorable Abubakar Ba, the government increased taxes during the steel mill that we had with the speakership position clandestinely. If I will borrow from the raw of Honorable Dubayu, that was done under the cover of darkness, and we saw an increase in the GST. And now look at what is happening. The Liberian dollars, one would say from his common sense, our money now getting strong. The US dollars, as compared to the Liberian dollar is doing well. The rate now, you can find the rate for $170, $160. It's a good thing. But then the prices of things continue to skyrocket. What is going on here? And should we appreciate this government for ensuring that, like Honorable Kole said, this issue of sterilization, is it really being effective? Is it a good plan for us? Is it yielding result? Or what is going on with the increase in the prices of basic commodities, and you get taxes just increase? What is going on, sir? What are you hearing? What are people saying?
Well, what we are having is a government that pretends to know it all. One of the most dangerous things that anybody can have is to be pretentious of knowledge. This is a government that is pretending that they have every situation under control, which is not the reality. Tell me, if you would say that the United States dollar, rate is down, the US rate is down, but then people are still buying things as they used to, or even more than they used to buy when the US rate was at 200. Now it's around what? 180, 185, in between there, depending on the geographical area that you are located. If you are buying a bottle of water for $100, now people are saying that, well, you have to pay $125, $130. I thought when the US rate was high up, that was the time that you were going to pay more Liberian dollar to get us, a commodity. But it is the reverse. And these are the people who are supposed to be the most educated ones. that Liberia has ever produced. They are the ones in power because that is how people carry themselves. That they know everything, they need nothing for any other person, and this is the reason for which they have refused to have a government of inclusion, a composition wherein there is an interjection of people from different walks of life, different persuasion. But that is not what they have done. So to go back to your question, economic-wise, this government is performing very disastrously. They are performing very handicappedly. They are performing in a reverse gear. Instead of the country going forward, it's going backward. Liberians, you take your money, you go change it, you get few Liberian dollars, but then you even have to go for the reserve, the one that you have been saving to be able to buy a particular commodity. How is that possible? It just tells you one thing, that the government does not have price control, that the government is a government that is more responsible or that is more concerned about public relations than actual public policy that is meant to benefit the citizenry. You wake up one morning, Mr. Joseph Boakai woke up one morning, you say, okay, I'm announcing today that a bag of rice is $14. A businessman, Abu Bakar, I bought my rice, looking at transportation costs, everything, for 15.5. You tell me because you are president of Liberia, I should sell my rice for $14. Hell no, I will not do that. And you cannot. We operate a free enterprise. The president will not tell me how much I must sell my goods. The only thing, I should not go above, the minimum, reasonability. And so the government under Mr. Baka, do you know the name of the commerce minister who is supposed to be regulating prices? No. You don't see Ministry of Commerce. During the former government, we used to see, some exercises of inspectors from the ministry having inter-ministerial, all these things were meant not to go on Facebook Live. But it was
Abu Bakar,
the relationship between the sellers and the buyer. Who is wronging their friend? Who is doing what? And through that, we ensure that prices to some extent were stable, and we ensure that we minimize the importation of expired goods. And many of these things.
Honorable Ba, one would say that what we are experiencing in Liberia, it is not just unique to Liberia. This is a global, a phenomenon that is affecting, other countries in the world, like the United States, like other countries, knowing very well that you do not even grow your own food. There is nothing absolutely that you grow on your own soil or that you exclusively, produce for your own consumption. So for you to make such an assertion that the government, is doing nothing, it means it's unfair. You are just trying to condemn this government or to beat maybe a wailing horse to death. And you were in the same capacity. You did not produce this thing. You faced the same problem, and it is happening now. And you are beating on the government. How do you respond to that, sir?
I just told you that, and all of you can bear me witness, that during the CDC-led government, we saw many times there were, inspection. We saw interministerial, involvement in the market. We saw people having citizens, or may I say, customer having a response mechanism, wherein if you buy a product you're not certified, the government was willing and ready to come to your aid, but that is not happening. Now, 6 years or 7 years ago, when George Weah was in power, what happened? People were not, using global phenomenon as an issue of excuse. In fact, people are not saying that. David Collier was presumed to be incompetent, though he has been a journalist, a professional, where he sat. He's well knowledgeable about it. Randall Dobayou, the same with him. A great brother in the environmental circle. Okay, I wouldn't want to praise myself, but we had the qualification of competence. Samuel Tuer, one of the best economists that Liberians, have ever seen, a great man with great intellect. All of us who have been demonized, we've been put in a cage and referred to as what? Incompetent. We didn't know nothing. They that know everything. At the time when we were saying that, well, in fact, we were in a very precarious situation. Very,
Dangerous situation because we had COVID-19. Today,
Thank you.
what is a global pandemic? There's no global pandemic. You only have to yield to good public policy that will adequately address the existing problems that you campaign on, that you have all of the solution to. But
Thank you.
The power, you instead of providing solutions, you are providing excuses. You are still blaming President George Manawiya for President Boakai writing almost $2 million. You still
Honorable Abubakar Ba, if we were playing the advocate here, one would say you do not expect the president to ride, a wheelbarrow, even though he said it figuratively, but you don't expect that to happen.
That of him to ride a wheelbarrow, but President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, come on, President Johnson Sirleaf, she's a renowned and international, person, acclaimed globally. But the car that she was riding, it was, something that we say, okay, she realized that this country is just from war. Liberia, we still need more money to invest in all sectors, the health sector, the educational sector, everywhere. So she was not brave to ride a car that cost millions of dollars. Joseph Newman Boakai history as the first Liberian president to ride vehicles that cost over $1 million. And today, they're struggling for 500,000 to
Thank you so much. Let's move on to Let's move on to Pastor Success A.B. Dennis. The economy, increase in taxes. The people in the market there, they are feeling the weight. They are feeling the pinch. When you talk to people, in fact, because of the way people are speaking out relative to economic hardship, most of these friendly government institutions that used to go out there to ask people, they are no longer going out there again. In fact, they have put halt to their one will say, they are out, their OB outside broadcast, opinion polls. It's not start, but people are still calling. Pastor Success A.B. Dennis, what are you saying? What is happening in Liberia? Are you feeling the weight, even though you are here in the state, but are you feeling the economic impact, negatively, positively, that is happening in Liberia? Let's hear from you, sir. I'm sorry, unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself.
To begin with, Prince, the impact is, like the Abraham would say, is very severe. It's huge. Because we have to deprive ourselves of some in a good life over here to make sure that we stretch our hand to some family member, friends, and relative back home because of the economic situation. But one thing I want to say, I am not an economist, but being one who I worked in the governmental cycle for a very good length of time, our budget, the way our budget is funded, all right? We have our local revenue, which just fund little portion of our budget, and huge portion of our budget is funded by foreign donors. And for foreign donors to be able to fund your budget, there are certain requirements or certain criteria they will say that you have to meet. All right. This government has massively failed, so she don't have that face to go to any international community or any bilateral institution to say, come and support our budget, and they will listen to them. This only have made that so much. Why has he coming away? President Boakai have traveled over the past. Why has he brought home?
32 trips.
All right. So the economy is translated.
He has brought something that we need to appreciate, and the MOU.
Okay, I will come to the MOU.
Our president brought MOU.
I will come to the MOU.
Before one can be able to get the dividends, there must be a memorandum of understanding.
Yeah, we'll come to the MOU. We'll come to the MOU.
Yielding the results.
The economy is strangulated. All right? The economy cannot breathe. So to be able to resuscitate the economy in their mind,
I don't belong to the economy from the toilet.
yeah, in their mind, they should revolt to enslaving or the masses by imposing taxes on them that are inappropriate. All right. Now, you will impose taxes. What are the dividends that the citizens are going to enjoy as a result of the taxes imposing on them? We are in the United States. When people impose taxes and those taxes are paid in a trickle of an eye, you start to see the dividend. So the excess of the taxes that were imposing is to ensure that we got a lecture that in the millions, or to ensure that the salaries of their cabinet minister is increased, or to ensure that they make these unfruitful and unrealistic foreign travel that they bring back nothing home, because the taxes should be high to have an impact on the people. Is the tax having impact on the people? No.
But even the imposition of the taxes is illegal, it's criminal.
No, because I am not an economist, and I'm not a legal party. I don't want to go to the legal aspect, right? You guys can touch on it. But from a low-man thinking, when if the excess of taxes is for it to return and impact the lives of the people. Private sector, you are not empowering the private sector. The government that's supposed to provide aid for the people, you are firing people for off job because they associate with certain political institution or because they are not within your corner. And then you bring taxes, import taxes on people, and you trying to withhold the liberating dollar off the market so that people can appear to be that you stabilizing the economy. Now, they say commodity price drop. Let's do the mathematics. All right, let's do the mathematics. If you say rice is sold or 2,000 and change, and the rate had dropped to 100 and maybe 70 or 100, well, buy that 170, over the liberating dollars and see whether you'll not be around $17 to $18 for a bag of rice. This have to be logical around it. They have to be
logical. Pastor Sosep, the price that was changed, it was not the retail price. It was the wholesale price.
I know.
When you give the wholesaler the leverage, you say the rest, the price, it was $17.
It should not exceed this window.
You want to get what it should not exceed so they can go anywhere. So the leverage was in the hands of the wholesaler, and the man in the market doesn't do wholesale. The ultimate beneficiary, those who bear the brunt of buying.
President, we are just to add and end on my point. I remember us doing the same thing in our government, but what we did is that we subsidized the imports, the importers. The government, I think, of $2 or 2 cents or whatever to the importer to subsidize whatever they were doing so that they can maintain the right at that price and the citizen can buy and sell and make money. This government,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, but
yes, sir. Kami, Honorable Kole, Kami.
Okay, so I just wanted to talk about the 12% taxes that the 12% increase on the taxes that the government levy. First of all, the 12% increase was a criminal coordinated action by the Unity Party-led government to further exacerbate the suffering of the Liberian people. Let it be known that it was a criminal action. Every action, according to Article 43 of the Liberian Constitution, that usurps or undermines the function of the national legislation of the Constitution is usurpation of the function of that Constitution. The national legislature is charged with the responsibility of levying taxes, under the Liberian Constitution. If the LRA gets up in the morning, that's not a fee. The LRA can impose a fee But when you levy taxes, what you see on that thing is 12% GST. Okay? 12% GST should not be levied by the government outside the approval of the national legislature. That
According to what
action.
they said, I'm sorry for intruding, but according to what they said, the national legislature approved of that particular passage. That was approved, by the legislator. They didn't just, wake up randomly or arbitrarily and just
Voted by whom?
ensure that.
Voted by whom? You know the government is a lying free man. The government is full of a laundry of liars. Okay? The Minister of Public Works said $22 million. He spent the $22 million. He said he's supposed to rehabilitate the Southeastern Road. He does not rehabilitate the Southeastern Road. He go to the legislature and he tell them he's sorry. He doesn't have any accountability to. He doesn't have any report to give for the $22 million. So you expect them to tell you that. So everything is going to be done in the closet because these guys are thieves.
So then
what's
it
the
means
motive
that
behind the
it means that,
12%?
and I want for you to have your take on this. It means that you, as an opposition, if we play this other advocate, one would say that the CDC, as a major opposition political party, has numbers, in the both houses. So it means that you are not playing your role. I mean, those legislators, that are in the house, that are representing the opposition, it means that you are not holding the government feet to the fire. It means that you allowing things to slap by. How do
Prince,
you? And I want for us to take the next 30 seconds. Let's
Prince,
go over this. You have the
Prince,
largest
all the
number
international
of
report,
lawmakers.
the report by the Transparency International, what they say about Liberia, the national legislature and the judiciary, they said they are essentially corrupt. Do you know why they say they are corrupt? Because people's action is not driven by the value of the people and the well-being of the people. People's actions are driven by their personal interests. So measuring by what happens at that national legislature as part of the political culture of the country, you will find out that most of the decisions that are made in the legislature are being influenced by the executive. So whether bylaws are being passed, they are influenced by the executive. Now, mind you, our people are not stupid. They know that the actions that are being taken at the legislature by certain elements of the legislature who are not in their interest, election time is coming. The election history of Liberia is clear that lawmakers who have not performed over the years, even some of them who did not perform were lucky to pass through the cracks, but most lawmakers who did not perform, the senators, 94% did not return as senators through our election history from 2005 or up to 2023.
Thank you.
And representatives, the same thing.
Yes. So, Honorable Abubakar, you have the majority, I mean, in terms of a political institution of your lawmakers there, and you are just crying as it relates to the economy, as it relates to bad government, governance, etc., etc. So, what is it that your lawmakers are doing? Have they been bought by this particular regime, or you have lost control over those people? What is going on? What can you say about all these things?
We have not lost control of our people within the legislature. Let that go across. What I can say to you is that Liberia, we run a Republican form of government, a presidential form of government. We have an imperial presidency. We have look at the structure of the leadership, because the leadership of the house that influences decision there. The president goes to the chief executive. You take a phone call. You call Madam Yombli Kanga Lauren, who is like a beg to him. You just call her. Look, I need this thing to be done at the level of the Senate, and they don't care how other senators react to it. Senator Nathaniel McGill and some other senators have been doing extremely well, fighting the status quo. The fact of the matter is that Yombli Kanga Lawrence, he shines the shoes of Joseph Boakai. Then they fought very hard to remove Fonati J. Kofa from the speakership, because Kofa was standing up for the Liberian people. What was not in their interest, Kofa was standing against it. They made sure that they removed him, and they brought a puppet of a speaker who Joseph Boakai can command at any time, a speaker who does not know the difference between I mean, simple words, legislative jargons. He doesn't know, even though he has spent years there. I mean, by performance, he may qualify as the most incompetent speaker that the nation has ever seen. But then again, Joseph Numa Baka did not come to this presidency to ease the suffering, the tension on Liberian people. No, but he came to power to exacerbate the situation. And so, going back to your question, let me say this: increasing taxes on goods and services that you refer to as GST, on the lab, you only do that to worsen the already precarious economic situation, the economic, quagmire and nightmare that we are having under Mr. Joseph. People are now suffering. People are going to bed with hunger. Many children are not in school, and they have been subjected to all forms of violence by people who should be protecting them. We see government officials who should be protecting us, abusing us. We see the police.
Thank you so much.
Serving and protecting us. They are now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Honorable Dobayu, what do you say to this? Your party that you serve has the largest in terms of, political party, status in the house there. We saw under your own majority block, so to speak, because they voted a speaker. Majority of those people were the CDC lawmakers. But unfortunately, we saw the table turning where your own lawmaker could not even listen to you. We saw all of these things happening. And at the end of the day, the honorable speaker, he was removed through the hands of Joseph Numa Boakai. Today, we are seeing the increase of, taxes. And your lawmaker is saying absolutely nothing. It's like, let it just flow. What is going on? Have you lost grip of these people? Are you now working with them? Or have they parted ways because, you are no longer relevant? What do you say to that, sir?
There's no substantial evidence towards that to say we don't have control over them. Control is relative. But let me first contextualize your statement when you say majority. There are two types of majority in our political governance structure. We have absolute majority and simple majority. I would agree when you say we got simple majority. Simple majority, it doesn't have that political weight to make any decision on our governance infrastructure, on our governance culture. You need absolute majority. There are 73 lawmakers. Of that 73 lawmakers, you need 40%, I think 40 or 42 to make law. Are you telling me CDC got 42 representatives? Resounding no, we don't have that number. We have more independence. We have other people from other opposition political parties. So as a unit CDC, if all the parties come together, we might be having a simple majority. Simple majority is only enough for a black. It cannot make any legislative decision. That is the first point I wanted you to get. The next point I wanted you to get is where I want to agree with you, right, Colette and even Prince, that we need a paradigm shift. Chairman McGill, the former chairman and minister of state of our party, was a champion of that. Whereas there was a bill, democratic sustainability bill, and that bill, it was still pending. We should have passed that bill in our second term if we have won. That bill came to give political parties the authority. Because on our governance infrastructure, the laws made by Unity Party and the elite oligarchs, they made it in a way that an individual Abu Bakr can be elected on CDC ticket. If he gets elected on our governance mechanism, the party has no real control over him, because whether or not he honors the party objective, he's still a lawmaker. Let's say, for instance, there's a guy called Zopenu, a man who has been a lawmaker for nearly 20 years. He has passed zero law. He got no legacy. He has only killed cow and baby tops. This individual was elected senator on CDC ticket. Having been elected senator on CDC ticket, today he is a political deviant in bed with the Unity Party. What authority do we have to bring this man to book? It was that bill that speaks to that. Political party, if you are elected on political party ticket, they should have the right to expel you. They should have the right to suspend you. And when you are suspended, they can replace you from their party. That is not happening. These are democratic reforms that we wanted to initiate.
Very important. Very important.
The real issue is not just about CDC and UP. It's behavior. That political culture that doesn't coerce the individual politician to be consistent, to be ideological, is a governance issue. It's not because CDC doesn't have control over those laws.
Thank you so much. Let's go to Pastor Success AB Dennis before we transition to our last discussion point. Pastor Success AB Dennis, let's hear from you, sir, on this issue of the lawmaker. I know Honorable Dogbayu is trying to, protect and say, this is not about, the majority. But we all know, one would say, we all know that the CDC has a very large portion of lawmakers in the House there, as compared to any other political institution. But yet, on a, so to speak, majority. You still have the ruling party still having that way with corruption. We saw some $22 million was being siphoned by the Ministry of Public Works. He went in the house there and said, "My people, you all forgive me," and the people say, "Okay, we agree." They may walk away free. We seeing that these people are just passing around doing their own thing without you talking. What do you say to that?
So the first thing I want to start with, run a little bit, but provide more, details on that is that don't forget these people that call themselves or that we call CDC lawmakers are people who were elected on the Congress, not the Congress, but on the coalition of Democratic Change ticket. Some of these guys went to that house, and because the marriage that brought the coalition together, some of those parties divorced themselves from that marriage, and some of those lawmakers belongs to the party. They feel the whole no loyalty to the CDC any longer. That's one factor. All right. And then what Ronald said is another factor. So quote unquote, we might not have the kind of majority you think about that can take a decision and it becomes a law, either be in the lower or the upper house. Okay. We want to let us provide that clarity first. All right. And then what Ronald said, so between our representative, you must have 40 plus to be able to make a decision when it comes to vote. CDC does not have that number. Number three, you and I will hear me of how the budget for 2025 will pass. This is the most clandestine budget ever in the history of our country. All right. The budget hit the lower house when the impasse were on. The big lawmakers, they took the budget shopping. Once some of the refused that salary, they look at it, okay, yeah, it passed. The Senate never had the Senate didn't even open that budget to say, okay, let's debate the budget. The budget went with 5G straight to the executive mansion and was passing to law by the president. Okay. The quote unquote Uganda, you call speaker, told you that we fought to remove Kofa because we want to have a regime speaker. What do you expect a regime house? Because don't forget, the speaker has some level, some leverage, some influential power to ensure that things they want for the executive to happen. So what do you expect? The entire leadership right now of the house is dominated by the regime. And you expect things to go in our house and you think they're going to sit down and discuss it and identify the interests of Liberian people? No.
Thank you.
They will deal with it from the partisan level. That's how they are taking our country. They don't care how you feel.
Thank you so much.
When it meets the satisfaction and the will and pleasure of the executive, they don't have a parliament house anymore.
Thank you so much.
To another executive branch.
Thank you. Let's just inform our people that we will be having a discussion with the NTL movement, the No to Zoo movement. We're going to have a time to bring them on here. We will have a time to bring them on. We will discuss with the authorities behind the scene so that we can bring that particular, body here. We'll have the discussion with them. Maybe this week or sometimes next week we'll discuss with them so that we can bring them on here. We also want to inform you that the DMV of the CDC USA. As you may be aware, the CDC is well structured here in the USA. We have our structure across, the various states. So the DMV chapter is just a chapter of the CDC USA. So the DMV chapter will be having her convention on October the 25th. Here in Maryland, to be specific, in Columbus, we'll be having our own convention, local convention, as we gear towards our national convention next year. So all of you are invited to that particular convention. Also, the information for the payment is out. Those of you in the US that want to make your contribution towards the headquarters, the information is right out here. They have the Zelle, they have the Cash App, and you can do the direct deposit. The informations are there. So for the Cash App, those of you who want to, make your donation for the headquarters, project, the Cash App number is 477-8731, and the Zelle is 484-477-8731. It's just the same number, both Zelle and Cash App. And then the bank transfer account is 969-052833. So you can make your contribution. Whatever contribution that you will make here will be definitely reflected, on the national website, that everybody who contribute will have their name posted there. So whatever contribution that you are going to make through these different medium, definitely you are going to have your name posted right on there. Again, we're going to have the NTL movement. They will be here. Definitely they will be here. We'll get in contact with the leadership and they will be here. But fellow Liberians, and especially to our panelists, the government of the Republic of Liberia continue to thrive on a very, very, very terrible path. Before His Excellency President Dr. George Manneh Weah could leave the presidency, we saw what happened, especially with our own, report as it relates to the MCC. Liberia did exceptionally well. We're able to pass, the corruption perception index. We did very well in that. Political rights, civil liberty, and etc., etc. The 2023-2024, MCC report. To the extent that the finance minister, in one of Augustine Pehigafon current, in one of his prayer conferences, even acknowledged the work that was done by the previous government and said, the government did the heavy lifting. They are just giving us the pass. All we need to do is to just score the goal. In other words, to just score the goal. But when this government took over, for the past 2 years, the report has been very damaging. Talk about the RNHCR, the International Human Rights Report. I mean, right from Liberia. We read that report, and that report states that the level of abuses by this government in every sector has doubled the two previous governments. I mean, the Independent Human Rights Report by Liberians themselves. We also are reading reports from all over that our own records are very terrible. Of recent, we saw the U.S. State Department report flagging persistent human rights concerns in Liberia under this particular government. I want to start from the Honorable Abubakar Ba. Honorable Abubakar Ba, all of these reports are not very palatable. They are not very, very well for us as a people, as a nation. I want to listen to you, sir, for the next 2 minutes because we'll go and take Ali's call.
Yes, let me say.
What is the reading of this report? How will this affect us as a nation? Let's hear from you, sir.
Well, let me say this to you. You will. It is very saddening to have these international and local reporters, making rounds in the world about our country, Liberia. Human rights violation continuing to remain an issue of concern, not just to Liberians, but to the international community on this unity party-led government. There will be, if you read those reports, you will find out that there are issues of police brutality on citizens, like
We saw our brother Pastor Dennis making reference to the King George situation, and what was the issue that these people were being killed because people with at least 4 persons were officially announced dead, and we know the number we know was more than that. We saw hundreds of people got wounded, some got tear gas. People were being chased after for what? Because they were speaking for their dignities, fair labor practices at their job. Those are human rights issues. When you have right to dignity while laboring for your survivability, but the government, instead of listening, investigating, and making sure that the saying or what the people are complaining about were being addressed, the government was more concerned about protecting the concessionaires, protecting the rich people company, protecting these Turkish people who are reaping and selling our golds while our locals benefit little or nothing. The government, instead of protecting her citizens, was there protecting the foreign, thereby killing her own citizens, injuring them, using what? The police that are trained, or should we say been trained, or that we expect to be protecting their lives and also protecting the properties of concessionaires. But the police failed to do that. And that human rights report also captured the issue of rape. And for the past few months, we've seen the introduction of a competition among government officials and institutions, the Raping League, violating, the rights of children. Then we saw the current minister of internal affairs also being involved into that. Those are all human. People should not do anything to your body, your environment, without your consent. But is that the norm? Is that what the government is doing? No, the government is not protecting citizens, but rather they are providing. We've seen citizens dying in police custody under this government. We're seeing that people are no longer free because the Constitution guarantees freedom of movement. At any time of the night, the Liberian citizen should be able to move. The government should provide security for you. That is not happening. People are being killed. Every morning, we woke up to 3, 4, 5, 6 dead bodies in different parts of the country. Those are all, captured on what human rights violations, and we're seeing human trafficking. The government, instead of preventing it from happening, if it happens, going after perpetrators to prosecute them, and if that happens, also trying to put into policy the rightful, policies that will be able to minimize, or if not, or stop this from happening. The government is not doing that, but
Thank you.
Based it on publishing herself into public relations and not doing what is required of it. And so the human rights report from the United States government captures that the government is doing little or nothing, to protect human lives and other, what we call constitutional and internationally agreed, rights for humans in the country. So it's very
Thank
bad.
you.
It's very bad.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We will really talk on this maybe the next time. But let's go to Honorable Randa Dobayu. Honorable Dobayu, you've read all of the reports. Let's hear from you, sir. What is
So
happening?
I speak with evidence, and I just sent you a report compiled by me over
Definitely
violations published in Liberian newspaper. I'm giving you the baseline reasoning why the U.S. published that report. I send them to you. You could just click 1 or 2 links. I'll give you dates that some of these crimes occur. As the Deputy Secretary General for Records and Research, I took my time to compile some of these things. For example, right in on January 21st, 2024, it's a victim called Central, and this was published by The Point. In Liberia, this particular person was poisoned to death and later on beaten. It was published in Liberian newspaper. Our police today that is going to the airport to beat people, to this point, no prosecution. Nothing has been done whatsoever. Vivian Sano, April 28, 2024, published in the Daily Observer. I would like you to just share this on your screen so that the audience will see, right? The audience will see, and you could just click on it. People being killed. Publication were done by Liberian newspaper. Amanda Nibo, this is personal to me, Prince. Amanda and myself, we graduated from Cathedral Academy School. She was serving the Moravia City government as a police, city police. This girl on our class anniversary from Cathedral, coming from a program, this girl by 7 p.m. at Bonneville Junction, she was armed robbed, killed by a armed robber on the motorbike. To this point, her victim have not been found. This was published in the Daily Observer as well. This happened on April 14, 2024. No state prosecution. And the list goes on. A lot of murder. Morris Gomon, right? Franklin Doga, and Austin Yabawolo, right? Pangali Kamara. These people have been killed in broad daylight. So when the U.S. State Department comes out with this report, for me, I know the report is factual because I, for first hand, have seen some of these things happen right before our own eyes, and our government did nothing. Our government has done nothing, and honestly, the U.S. government has reported, and I like to go through some of these numbers and some of the literature what they have said precisely. They've been very unequivocal that the Liberian government is weak and has demonstrated zero effort as it relates to, in comparison with previous government in terms of human trafficking. So they are saying the CDC government, they are exceedingly well in terms of combating human trafficking. The report also had a lot of references to various hindrances. They listed corruption. They said prosecution is an issue, and elite people of the government are being protected. No, so tell me now, what is the definition of rescue when all of these bad democratic indicators are very broad here? Not just that. These things are happening at the same time. The IMF is giving report that the growth projection is dropping. Corruption is increasing. Limited competitiveness in our governance structure. So all of these things, speak to one thing. It answer your first question. Why is it people went to the airport? It answer your question. Why is it there's corruption at the legislature? It answer your question. Why is it the U.S. rate is going up with no corresponding economic dividends to the people? So, Mr. Prince, for this reason, I can tell you, we are not here to just lie on the government. We are referencing fast reports by the U.S. State Department. We do not have the capacity to bribe these people. We speak with empirical facts. So the government have said nothing towards these things. Why they call this a guy who is a victim of verbal diarrhea? His mouth just leaks. Called Sando goes and talk garbage. That's what they do. They have no prescription for the problem we are facing in this country, Mr. Prince Sherry.
Thank you. Pastor Success A.B. Dennis, let's hear from you. These human rights, reports continue to come up. Very, very, very troubling for us. Let's hear from you, sir. Sorry, unmute yourself, please. Unmute yourself.
These empirical facts, they are not debatable. All right. Look, Prince, in the 21st century, more especially in the sub-region, African sub-region, Prince, where have you seen a government that someone escaped death from their country or from another country come to your country, and overnight without that person going through some legal, because for you to turn over a man who escaped death, that person might have gone to court, and the court might have issued some level of decree and say, okay, this may have to go back based on the kind of international treaty we got with this country and XYZ. No, clandestinely, 4 o'clock in the morning, the Boakai administration picked that man off from the Memorial Center Prison and turned him over to a junta regime in Guinea, and he was killed. That the kind of government can be discussing about human rights. They care. They don't. The government was introduced to the Liberian people are killing. Still, we sat there, and the Liberian people voted the way they voted. We saw during the campaign. President Newman, who is now the internal affairs minister, led a group or tour in local country and murder exhibition. We saw this reckless, and I don't know how to describe her. Now, I joined the confidence of the president at the National Port Authority. We saw her. Oh, we saw the on video mocking Josiah that led to his death. These people want to kill Joe and killed our people. Amen. What else should these guys do for us to believe that they don't care about human rights? Prince, 2019 or 2020, if I'm not mistaken, uniform students go on the street and place a blockade in front of the convoy of the city president, His Excellency President George Manuel Weah. What did he do? He disembarked from his convoy, walked to those students, talked to them like a father, talked to them like a leader, and whatever problem they had, he found a remedy to it. Similar thing occurred in this administration. Amen. The children go on the street and say, look, without having teacher, our future is at jeopardy. Do something. What did they do? The tears gathered children, they beat them massively and let them enjoy the went home. And the people who can discuss about human rights, they don't care about human rights. These people don't even mean anything to them.
Thank you so much. Let's go to Honorable Colette. Honorable Colette, what is your own take on all of these reports? I mean, the one that is even more troubling is the internal report from Liberia. I mean, our own people, Independent Human Rights Commission, right in Liberia, they are in Liberia. In fact, they classified what is happening to be even more terrible 2 times as compared to previous government. Let's hear from you, sir. What indicators is this sending to us?
Prince, the current situation in the country is sad. We don't have a government. We don't have a government. What we have is anarchy. When you look around you today, you will see the response of the irresponsible disposition of the current Boakai administration. When you see the citizens attacking the police, it's an indication that you don't have a government. When you see the citizens trying to take the law in their own hands, it's an indication that you don't have a government. Why? Let me just provide the basis on why I believe that we don't have a government. The president of the country was busying himself with finding more than $1.8 million to remove the speaker from his office. The president essentially violated the Liberian constitution in full measure before the full view of the entire world. Every citizen in this country who is a peace-loving citizen, who understands the constitution, who knows the rule of law, understood that the president was violating the constitution by interfering, by usurping the activity of the national legislature. When the police illegally broke into the office of the speaker and illegally, without any search warrant, broke into his office, took his personal belongings, destroyed his car, all of these things were happening. These are indications that the state had gone into anarchy. So what you see is a recipe, the reports you see is a recipe, a compilation of what the international community has observed. ECOWAS, a strong geopolitical partner to the country, but we went to war, our civil war. ECOWAS, people from the ECOWAS nation came to this country, gave their lives. Their blood was littered on our soil. But these people were disrespected because we have a president who believes in revenge or the tranquility and the harmony of the country. For instance, like my colleague said, the people of King George, Grand Cape County, were disenfranchised. Why? There were positions that should go to Liberians naturally because the concession says so. These positions were being given to Turkish people who came to the country. There were benefits that they should enjoy. They did not enjoy. When the people went to talk, they sent the police and they instructed the police, I'm telling you, to shoot and to kill them. They killed 4 human beings, family, their family depending on them. Their lives, their blood was littered. The government did nothing. They killed this labor in rehab. They said they went on a raid. Randomly shot that labor. 14 years old child, killed him. This one they call Sato. She went and accused somebody of writing on Facebook about her. They took that boy to Jacotown police station. They tortured that boy. He died in the cell. Nothing came out of it. Okay? The people went and took the convoy that's supposed to carry the former speaker that's supposed to be with him. Took it from him illegally. All of these things have accumulated into the irresponsible disposition of the government in violation of the Constitution, international protocol, and human rights laws of the country. So we don't have a government. We have an anarchy. We have a president who is vindictive, whose only goal is to, come after people who he believe are his political opponents in the most vicious way. So what you see is a reflection of what the people see. Every Liberian is feeling the pinch. Go on the street. People, keke riders, are fighting police. Ordinary citizens are fighting police. Why? Because the head of state, the president, laid the foundation for what we have today in the state. So if we're not careful, I'm telling you, if we're not careful, in the next 2 years, the rule of law is going to break down to the extent that there will be no control. People will be going to the market with cutlasses. I'm telling you. Believe what I'm telling you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Time is of essence as we do this. So, we just have to see how best we can be able to fill in. But I want to start with you, and then we'll go to Honorable Dobayu as our closing, comment. Maybe in the next, let's say, 1 minute 30 seconds.
Mhm.
The president, Mr. Boakai,
Mhm.
is building homes in Foya worth millions of Liberian dollars. While
US
hospital
dollars.
like JFK, I'm sorry, US dollars. While hospital like JFK is practically a withholding center, almost like a prison center. When people go there for treatment and cannot afford, they keep you there. There are people as we speak, they are there. Some people have been there for months. Our hospitals across the country, government-owned health facilities, they are virtually closed because government cannot give them the requisite subsidy to ensure that these medical facilities operate. Today, we are seeing the effect with how you call ELWA, even though it's a private hospital, but we know that government gives subsidy. Under the regime of His Excellency President Dr. George Manawia, these private, hospitals, they receive subsidy to at least be able to, kind of serve as a cushion so that the hospital can continue to operate. But today, we are seeing hospitals are closing. Medical centers are basically becoming abandoned without any medical staff. But you have this president building homes of millions of United States dollars. And it's as if nothing is happening. They are cool. Patrol Horner is taking $3,000 for his gas slip for generator, while you have hospitals in the counties. They are completely closed and without health practitioners. Let's hear from you. What is going on? Is this president just insensitive, or he is doing what should be done as a president? Make sure have the
Prince,
home, get the money, and etc. Let's hear from you, sir.
the president is reckless and insensitive. Let's start from his own background, his own backyard. Telewayan Hospital in Lofa County. The Telewayan Hospital. The Telewayan Hospital. You read the budget, you saw the allocation to the Telewayan Hospital. Currently, there are no drugs. in the Tendawini Hospital. There's also medical center, no drugs. Foya Medical Center, they basically send their salary. People are paying for almost everything at those medical facilities. In fact, they will give you the paper. They tell you to go buy your medicine. Call there today. We can help you with numbers for people, so you call them. They will give you the paper. They're only doing laboratory there, and you have to buy your medicine. There are no operations being performed because the doctors are not getting their pay. The hospitals are understaffed. There is no medication for patients. Pregnant women are dying in childbirth at those medical in his own hometown in Lofa County. Bone County. The CB Dumba Medical Facility that used to be free before. Go there tomorrow in the morning. People paying. They were free on George Weah. The Phoebe Medical Center. It was free on George Weah. People paying. JFK. Serious people who are contributing to the country. Professionals, bankers are dying in childbirth because there are no essential drugs. Even the vitamin K they will get in during the childbirth to be able to expedite the labor and to be able to reduce the blood when they go get birth during labor. There are no vitamin K. People are dying in childbirth. So if Boakai is taking $10 million that's supposed to be saving lives and he's putting it on his retirement home in Lofa County, it tells you how wicked and insensitive he is. He is reckless, he is wicked, and he is insensitive. He doesn't care for the people. This is a statement of fact. It is verifiable. Check everything I told you, Prince. You will see the truth. So this is what we have. This is what we have. This is what the Liberian people ask for. Because this man has no future. He only got a pass. That man was Soya man killing people. They can't make him president. You think he got heart? Think he got heart for other human beings? He doesn't. He's an evil, reckless, irresponsible, and wicked human being. That's what Boakai is. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Kole. Let's hear from Honorable Abubakar Ba. The president is building luxurious home in Foya and other area.
This is being inhumane. Coupled with when you hear the Lexus story, the very luxurious car the president ride. When you hear about the president, instead of building new hospitals or equipping the existing ones, you see that the president has abandoned medical facilities. You see that the president is not concerned about the deteriorating educational sector in the country, evidenced by the mass failure that we had in the WAS and students sitting the UL entrance examination. When you look at all of these things, civil servants have been underpaid. You look at nurses are now striking from every corner of the country. Every nook and corner of the country, people, health workers are protesting. Teachers are protesting. Students of the MCSS, just few weeks ago, they were in the streets demonstrating. Every time there are issues at the University of Liberia, and this president, who has more years behind him than in front of him, judging by his age, we do not know who does, at what time. But a president who is in his 80s, you will not see him to have another 80 years. To have that president comfortably building duplexes worth millions of dollars, over 10 million United States dollars, even if it's a Liberian dollar, 10 million United States dollars. When women are giving birth outside of health centers because they cannot afford to go into those health centers. When those of you who can go in the health centers, You have been told to buy your own gloves, to buy paracetamol. These shelves are very empty in the very hospital. The president goes to build retirement homes for himself that he may not even live in for more than 1 year, even if he is to be former president, hopefully. If it is the way that will go, how is it that this president is so callous, so nefarious, wickedly wicked, very unjustifiably gang-breaking our economy, our national coffers, to provide comfort for himself that he may not have gotten since his entry into public space? What have we done? What is the wrong that Liberians have done to make him president? That he will abandon the dire situation and build duplexes. I'm emotionally, speaking. If you listen to me, this is wickedness. This is the president that says that he does not care about luxury. But all of the luxurious lifestyle he's living, he's not wearing, or JMB produce JMB clothes. The president, he's not wearing, he's not riding jets, private jet that carry JMB. He wears shoes, customized shoes that carry JMB, customized ink pen that carry JMB. Don't worry. He has even customized the VIP lodge that was built by President. We have to put JMB on it. He wants to own everything to himself at the expense of the poor masses. So going back to your question, the president is very wicked, very self-centered, very, very, unpredictable in his action, to have built or continue to spend taxpayer money on those kind of housing units that only shows that he's old man that believe in enjoyment and not development. To put it in the simple,
Thank you so much.
Even more than the young people.
Thank you so much, Pastor Success A.B. Dennis. Fellow Liberians, before Pastor Success coming,
No, I was just Prince. You just take call, man. Our two colleagues have dealt with this sufficiently. I think,
so
they bring justice to the topic. So I think,
all right.
For me,
So you can now call in. The number to call is 443-991-3356. We are now going to take your calls. 443-991-3356 is that number to call. Call and let's hear from you. What is your own take? Again, the number to call, fellow Liberians, on the show to participate. The number to call is 443-991-3356. But to just have this from our end, I think it's unfortunate that we will have a president who told us that they came on the mantra of rescue, that they've come to rescue the Liberian people, that we will have this particular president abandoning the so-called rescue mission, and he's rescuing himself and people who are around him. These people have basically abandoned everything that has to do with the true sense of rescuing, and they are after their own self. Look at what is happening. Look in Liberia today. You have police brutality that have increased. Look at what is happening. Our daughters are now being threatened by ministers. These people are using their offices to rape our children. But let's go to the line as we talk to our first caller here. Hello, caller, your name and where you've joined us from. Welcome. Honor the Palava Hut with the Redemption Hour. Welcome.
Hey, my dear brother, Prince Sherry. This is A.B. Coleman calling from Ohio. First of all, let me say thanks to you and your panelists, which of course I know many of them on this panel, but specifically my dear brother David Kole and Rano Tobayo and Abu Bakar Ba. I know these gentlemen. Do I met David Weave in the point? Tobayo and Abu Bakar Ba in the CDC. But they will know who came from Uproar. A long time, my dear brother.
Thank you.
But That's your thank you. Your thank you for the show. You know, you keep keeping the government feet to the fire. We all will keep doing it. Because these experienced people, like our Bagaba said it. All the young people, first of all, I'm commending young people, they serving government for 6 years. They left from there. Nobody could say that they stole money from anywhere. I'm commending young people. Seriously. They will collect I know these guys. I know them. They will collect specifically. I know him for Aubrey, Virginia. You know, today they are you know, they're moving anywhere with all any they can talk anything. But look, these people criticize all that we're not educated. And they know they will collect every one of the guys that went to AMU, UL, Zion, Collington, but they say they were not educated because they associate themselves with CDC.
Thank,
But you know, but these
thank you,
people
sir.
now, they educated people now, they have been traveling, they didn't bring nothing by you. They didn't bring nothing back to the country yet. When you tell them, oh no, damage. The country was damaged. What the country was damaged where? This old man was just envy, and some of the young people today that in power, they were envy of David Kule and Dobayu and Abu Bagaba having wisdom. That's just envy. That's all. Today, they are there. What are they doing? They can't go to
Thank you.
Malaysia begin to go eat. All it does is that they go in on the Boulevard Pali and other places. Although they are not doing nothing in that country, the country is high. They are shooting rapists, all the things that they accused of the 16 billion dollars. They're not investigating nothing.
Thank
People
you.
will not do nothing.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. So, fellow Liberians, you can give us a call. Again, the number to call is 443-991-3356. We've consumed the hour. We've consumed the time. Again, we will be here on every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for just 2 hours because these are very busy people. To get these people for even 30 minutes, you must know that it is grace because they are very busy. So we will be here for 2 hours every Monday, Wednesdays, and Friday is just 2 hours. So get yourself ready. At least we'll take, the 10 minutes for call in for people to call and make your point. But again, let's just go to our panelists as they gave us their parting comments. We'll start from Honorable Collet. Honorable Collet, it's over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prince. Thank you to my other colleagues who are part of this panel. It was a very interesting conversation about our country, speaking about the soul of our country, where we go, the direction we go, and what's happening in the country. We believe that dialogue is better than confrontation. We had a brutal civil war that ravaged our country. More than 250,000 people paid the ultimate price for what we saw during the events of the war. So I believe that we should continue to have these kind of civil conversation and talk about the excesses in the Boakai administration and educate our people on the direction we should take. Thank you, Prince. Thank you, Ronald. And I believe we can continue to have these kinds of dialogue. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Kole. Let's move on to Honorable Abubakar Ba. Honorable Abubakar Ba, your parting comments, sir.
Again, thank you very much, Prince, for this very wonderful and interactive platform that we can come and sit on and chart a new course for our country. Our country needs a total redemption, and this is the National Redemption Hour. We sit to inform and educate each other on the pathway towards restoring dignity and hope to our Liberian people who are now in a state of despair and desperation for leadership that will listen to their plights and be able to solve their economic issues, challenges. It was wonderful here with DSP Ubayu, Comrade David Kole, and you, Prince. We look forward to another fascinating edition of this on the Palava Hut, specifically the Redemption Hour, to discuss. Thank you very much. I look forward to Wednesday.
Thank you so very kindly. At this time, we move on to Pastor Success A.B. Dennis. Pastor Success A.B. Dennis, let's get your parting comments, sir.
Well, thank you, Prince. Thank you, Ole, and thank you, Mr. Bayu, although Abubakar has left, but we want to say thank you to everyone. Uh, this kind of initiative is very cardinal to the democracy of our nation. We ought to do this thing to checkmate governance in our country, and I think we are on the right trajectory. We're going to continue what we are doing. We want to encourage each and every one tune in on the date and time that was just announced by Mr. Sherry so that you can listen to the show. And one thing we will now do on this show is that we will not fabricate lies to implicate the government because we have enough evidence to tell the world of what this government is doing. You know,
Of course.
they did it yesterday on lies, they did it yesterday on propaganda. Today they cannot defend it. Yesterday the CDC was so corrupt. You've been in power now going to 2 years and plus. You cannot prosecute one government official on the corruption that you preached yesterday. So that is to tell you that this guy lied and they continue to live with it. Like, but we use this platform, we use this medium to unearth and to repair these lies that they tell. So thank you for the time, and we hope to be here again on Wednesday. Have a
Thank you
wonderful
so
and a
much.
pleasant day.
Thank you so much. Let's go to the Honorable Randolph Masekwe Dubayu, who is actually, the pilot of this particular hour. It's
You
over to you, sir.
the pilot, we just here as panelists. Let me say this, right? When you live in a country that mainstream rape, that protect rapists as compared to victims, you need redemption. When you're in a country that a budget recast is done and money is shifted from education, health to the Ministry of State and to covert budget, you need redemption. If you're in a country where the motorcyclists who are the engine of our petty economy, our economy at a downstream level, if you're in a country where marketeers, people who do from hand to mouth, they have been beaten, they've been raped, and nothing is done, you need redemption. If you're in a country that the president has over 300,
They will try, they will always.
the president has over 300 useless trade with zero corresponding dividend, you need redemption. At this point in we are presidency, there were several groundbreaking. Today, after almost 2 years, President Boakai has broken no ground. He has just been segregated, politically unconscious, and he's not all right in terms of a governance approach. When those situations occur, that a certain speaker will say, "I'm a regime speaker," you need redemption. If you're in a country that the president will go at the UN while he's speaking, he ought to embarrass the nation to the extent that the presiding officer put off the mark and they escorted him like a common criminal. You need redemption. So on this basis, Mr. Cole, you're laughing. There are several reasons why we say the redemption hour. There are several reasons why this program is essential to the Liberian people. So we say thank you for the show. The redemption,
You slow down small, baking that up a bit there, slow down small.
yeah, the redemption hour is here. It is a decisive response to the failed unity government. We are cutting through their deceit, their lie, to deliver the truth to the Liberian people, and we'll give them the hope that they deserve. So this place is where we will come every day to mobilize the finest minds in the opposition. Will come here to hold Boakai regime accountable, as Sosa said, with facts, with empirical facts, not lies and deceit. We will go at their promises, will dissect their promises, compare them, and expose the incompetence in their government. Right. So this platform is here, is a megaphone of the Liberian people. Palava Hut is
I see editor, I see the list there.
yeah, it's why we turn the course for real redemption and not fake rescue. So thank you very much.
Sure.
Next week there'll be two female panelists that will be here. Two female panelists. They're going to join us next week. Eddie came in very late. He was busy. He's one of our panelists. You know, corporate America people are very busy. So maybe it's up to you, Prince, to let Eddie conclude. You know, he did not start.
Man, let's
Yeah.
let's
the best part. So, Honorable Tamale, it's over to you to conclude, sir.
Well, thank you, Prince. In a special way, I'd like to salute the resilience of all of our comrades and the fighting forces who are ensuring that the Unity Party should be exposed to the Liberian people. I'm sorry, I'd like to apologize for coming late. As you may be aware, I'm doing my second master's at Penn State. So it's very technical and critical in terms of how we navigate through the systems of education and that of ensuring that we can basically get our sustainability. However, we have been designated by the DSG that we will be one of the panelists on this very significant platform. I have realized that this platform, the men and the momentum that the platform is developing in the short space, it will be second to none. And I'm deeply pleased that some of us will have the privilege to share the platform and opportunity with a senior intellectual colleagues like David Colette and Pastor Success. These are men who have the intellectual ability and prowess to checkmate the Unity Party government. I'm very sure that this platform will begin to unmark some of the hidden agenda of the Unity Party government, President Baga, and we show that the Unity Party should be brought to the bended knee and elevate President George Manuel Weah comes 2029. So it is my pleasure again coming on this platform. I hope to have an opportunity in the very soonest and possible time that we all will share the discourse and unmark the regime and show that the Liberian people will know the dangerous intent of Mr. Boakai and his bunch of gangsters, ranging from Gregory Coleman and the likes of everyone who are trying to ensure that the Liberian people must suffer and should not have prosperity. So I'm happy and I hope to be back again on the next show that is scheduled at the appropriate time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Honorable Trawale. I want to say thanks to all of our brothers, the Honorable Kole. I want to say thank you. Randolph Masekwe Dugwayu, I want to say thanks, Honorable Abubakar Ba, and all of you. I mean, all of you who have been very, 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 very glued here listening to us. We
Pastor
want to say
Success,
thank you
it's
so
nice to
much.
see you.
Thank
At
you, man.
the
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's get ready. Tomorrow, when I mean tomorrow, figuratively speaking, on Thursday, we will be here. So on every Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursday, we will be here to discuss issue relative to Liberia. So join us, and fellow Liberian, don't forget, invite someone, tell someone to tell someone that is going to be a wonderful time. So until we meet again, my people, I want to say bye to everybody. Yeah, bye, bye, bye.
You will try, you will always fail. Mr. Yes, sir. Before you bury CDC, you must juke me in my heart, in our heart. Together we die. Before you bury CDC, you must juke me in my heart, in our heart. Our party in our heart. Before you bury CDC, you must juke me in my heart, in our heart. Together we die. Before you bury CDC, you must juke me in my heart, in our heart. Our party in our heart. Mr. Yes, sir. Excuse me, Mr. Yes, sir. So in my heart, in our heart, together we die. We'll try, you will always, we'll try, you will always fail.
Oh yes, the DMV convention is October 25th, 2025. That is our own local convention, Sedition.
So yes, sir. Before you bury
we are sharing
CDC,
patriotic Liberians,
in my heart,
including the 18% of the Unity partisans. You are all welcome.
In our heart, together we die. Before you bury CDC, you want to me in my heart, in our heart, our party in our heart. Before you bury CDC, you want to me in my heart.
We will not allow small children to tell market when they should be in school. They should be in school. We will not allow those young ladies just go in the street whole day yourself. The money you make can't even buy rice. We can't do it. We want to put dignity on our people. And that's why we're here. That's the mission we have. And I can assure you, if you check your calendar, it's exactly 4 months from today. Today is the 10th, right? When is the election? You start checking. 4 months to the date. After 4 months, you will see a new Liberia coming up. You will see a Liberia that will give you hope. You will see a Liberia where corruption will be a thing of the past.